Stay out of the box. We talked about how good their penalty kill is. Yeah, it's a point of strength for them, but they're playing with fire. Chicago's loaded on the offensively on the power play. They've got two good units. Don't wear guys down. Stay fresh.
That was a look at Rocky Thompson there on the Wolves bench. He is their 41-year-old head coach from Calgary as we're underway in the opening frame. O'Reilly dancing in for the Wild. Iowa from right to left on your radio dial as part of our simulcast tonight. Not only on the TV side, Mediacom's MC22, but 1460 KXNO. It's a high riser by the Wolves, sails high and wide off the rush. Susie now pitching one up, not out. White Cloud holds in, outside the right circle, fired a shot, and Hammond able to make the save. Susie to Warner, and skating out to his right, he'll find Will Bitten. 30 seconds gone by in the first, no score in Game 4. Again, the Wild from right to left on your radio dial. Our referees for tonight's contest as the Wolves come ahead with Curtis McKenzie. He'll peel up and look to laser one rink wide. Warner now stepping to it. He'll protect. Dish it back behind his own net, hoping for Cunnin. Our referees are Bo Halkides and Corey Sivret. Jesse Marquis and James Tobias are the linesmen. Wild finishing a change. Now a minute gone by in the first as the Wolves come through center ice with Jake Bischoff, the one-time Minnesota Gopher, twisting it in from center ice. Back the Wild defense. First Barkowski and then Manel. He was stripped. Here's Quinney looking for Carr. The league's MVP, to the point for Leslie, who led the Wolves with 4 shots in Game 3. A 2-0 win for the Wild. Now Greenway trying to chip a puck out. Good keep by Leslie, or Greenway may have had a break.
Yeah, listening to Coach Rocky Thompson, he's saying how the D are kind of their offensive catalyst. Right there, you saw it. Leslie with a pinch kept the puck in the zone, and now the Wild are hemmed in a bit in their own zone. Long shift for him here.
Greenway with a nice hit. The Wild don't get it out. Both teams, though, change, and that gives a chance for Brennan Manel to reset back deep in his own zone. With 100 seconds played in the first, the Wolves have the only 2 shots so far. As Manel will pitch it along to Colton Beck. Off the glass right side and safely through center. Knocked down by Griffin Reinhart. Knocked along, now it's Cody Glass. Trying to step past Manel. A good hip check sent him down to the ice as they go over the right shoulder of Hammond. Two teams trying to dig it free. Wolves do emerge. A tough angle shot hit the outside of the cage, and Beck will skate to it. Flicking it along for Kyle Rao. Gains the red line and shoots in from center.
Yeah, right now it seems like Chicago's got to step on the Wild a little bit, beating them to pucks in the corner, out supporting them down low, and they're getting chances offensively for it. Iowa Wild got to find a way to get the puck behind Chicago's D right now and maybe sustain some pressure.
Glass from the offensive line powers it in. Hammond steers it back behind his own net after it kicked off the end wall. It's Prosser now looking for Ryan Donato. Donato without a point in the last 6 games during this Calder Cup playoff run. Here is Haig, second-round draft pick of Las Vegas in 2017. The Wolves' parent club, the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And boy, have they had a pretty monumental first 2 National Hockey League campaigns. Here's Liambus now for the Wild, off to Mitch McLean. Try to go back to Liambus. That was errant. McLean re-steals at center. And he'll skip it along to Nate Prosser.
Yeah, right now it seems like there's a lot of congestion in the neutral zone. Kind of the way games start. There's a lot of feeling out going on right now. The Wild right now, they'll finally get their first shot on net, it looks like, and that's a good thing.
Susie left side with a tough angled bid. Rebound for McLean. That ricocheted up top. Hunter Warner trying to squeeze it in front. The Wild cycling here with their quote-unquote 4th line. McLean into the corner for Sam Addis, who had a 4-game assist streak end in Sunday's game number 3. The Wolves break it up nicely, and White Cloud will label it out to center. Regroup for the Wild. It's the captain, Cal O'Reilly, hooking up with Will Bitten, who pops it in. Good pace in the early going. Not a lot of whistles. 3.5 now played in the first as Mayhew left wing corner. Lost it. Haig to gather to the left of his netminder. He'll turn, wait a bit, and then snap it ahead for Keegan Colasar. Colasar rumbling into the Wild zone. Fired a shot that was knifed away by the Wild D. McKenzie to the rebound. Up top for Leslie. Angled it down low. At the outside of the cage. Warner handles. Dinked it around the boards as he got hit hard. O'Reilly skates to it. And the Wild with numbers if they hustle.
Well, they've done a good job now supporting each other a little bit. Now it's ending up in a little 3-on-2, 4-on-2 pseudo from their own D zone. But that's a good play. It seems like they're starting to compete. They're winning battles. Simple little play. You like to see this response too. Are they calling?
You know, we got some rough stuff here between O'Reilly and McKenzie. A couple of crafty veterans. 4:01 gone by in the first. Officials trying to sort things out. Looks like we'll have some coincidental penalties here. With the game still scoreless, Wild Hockey tonight, and as always, presented by Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
Yeah, here O'Reilly cuts to the middle. He's got a nice little play, supported pretty well. Susie gets a nice shot on goal. It's blocked up out of play, but that's how they're going to want to play. Cut and drop, make those young D turn and make decisions. That's tough on a D corps when they're backing up and they've got people coming laterally, vertically. It's tough on them.
There is a Game 7 tonight in the National Hockey League in San Jose. The Shark Tank, I'm sure, will be rocking. You played in that building a time or two. What's that environment going to be like?
Well, it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be similar. Whoever scores first there, that's going to be huge. I think the Sharks are going to want to score first. They get a lot of momentum the first 10 minutes. A lot of times, coaches, teams, they come in there saying, hey, we got to weather the storm. Weather the storm, eat the first 10 minutes, just don't get scored on, then we'll move from there. If San Jose can find a way to score early, I like them. I like their chances.
Back to this game for a moment. Rocky Thompson, Wolves head coach, felt like both teams were maybe a bit tired in Sunday's game. He thought like his side would have really good energy tonight. And I was thinking the same thing from a Wild vantage point. The fact that the teams had off Monday and a practice day Tuesday would certainly help a group like the Wild that have played a lot of hockey already, 8 postseason games. And remember, their series in the first round started later than everybody else. So they had a very condensed first round schedule against the Admirals, an eventual Game 5 triumph in Milwaukee, helping them on in round 2 as Matt Reed attacks, coming off a goal and assist in the Game 3 win. Then the Greenway to the point. Manel swung along for Barkowski to the high slot for Cunnin, knifed the shot through some traffic. That went wide. There ended up being no penalties after that sequence, by the way. Deep in the Wolves zone, backdoor, Greenway open, bottom of the right circle, waiting some more, got one on the point, but Manel with a drive, rebound sitting there, and Dansk able to make a left pad save and keep it out.
Great plays there by the Iowa Wild offensively in the in deep. Nice pass by Barkowski over to Greenway. He sat over there. He sat on that back door with the puck. I think maybe he had a chance to move his feet and get a little bit better angle, but nice play up top, one-timer. That's a dangerous shot, but somebody's got to get in the goaltender's eyes.
Wild head coach Tim Army was telling me the other day, Ryan, that he was about ready to start screaming at the guys on the bench for not shooting enough pucks in Game 3, and then right after that happened, Luke Cunnin scored the eventual game winner with a late first period goal. There is Tim Army, the Wild head coach. The 55-year-old helped the Wild set a franchise record this year with 87 points in the regular season. Beck thrown from the draw, crowd booing at that. Boy, are they engaged again here early from Wells Fargo Arena. The crowd's been outstanding, but they have been into these games. The Wild 3-0 in this building in the playoffs, Ryan, outscoring their opponents 15-1. Talk about dominant.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Tough building to come into, and listening to the coaches and everybody around town too. The crowd right now, the numbers they're good, they're great. But there are bigger venues, but this sounds louder. The fans are engaged, they're into it, and that probably has to do with some of the scoring and some of the dominance they've had offensively.
Here's Haig at the point, slipping it behind the net of Hammond. Hika picked up center, wide open, a shot was stopped. Beautiful save by Hammond there, as finding himself open in front was the talented rookie Cody Glass. The Wild looked to counter Donato, a left circle shot, and that was blocked away by White Cloud. Mitch McLean fresh off the Wild bench to keep it alive.
You ask your goaltender to make the saves he should, and every once in a while you've got to ask him to make one he shouldn't. That's one where he was alone with Cody Glass, a dangerous offensive player in front, makes the save, stalls it, and then the Wild end up with the puck in their own offensive zone. That's a huge save for the Iowa Wild and for Mr. Hammond.
And now an icing call on the Wolves, so a chance to get an offensive zone draw coming for the Wild. Here's another look at that big save.
Yeah, it's tough. 2 guys chase 1 guy behind the net. That's never a good recipe. The Chicago Wolves recognize that and just kind of toss a little one right out front, and Glass is there all alone. But again, a huge save by Hammond.
Same lineups for both these sides as they rolled out in Game 3. McLean now chucked from the draw, and again the crowd all over the men in stripes. Liambus in to take it. He'll win it back cleanly. Barkowski paddles to Manel, waiting right point. In front of deflection by Liambus, went just wide.
2 guys in front there. I think that was a tough screen and a nice tip by Liambus. The D had a hard time figuring out who they should cover.
Liambus then just hammered Haig right by the Wolves bench as he finishes hit nicely. Here's McLean left wing side. Crowd starting to come alive here as the Wild have picked up their play. Wolves had the better of the play the first couple of shifts. Now Manel through the slot, firing one. That's in the belly of Dansk. And he gets a whistle. Promotional timeout on the ice. 4 shots for Iowa, 3 for Chicago. It's Game 4 of the Central Division Finals. No score. Back after this with more Calder Cup playoff hockey. A simulcast tonight on Mediacom's MC22 and 1460 KXNO.
Is a thing of the past? Then enter the world of Amish House Furniture. Each piece of fine furniture you see has been cut, shaped, and sanded by a craftsman right here in the Midwest. From traditional to
Andrew, you need me to
contemporary,
change anything, or you think it's all right?
Made and signed by its maker.
It actually sounds pretty good for me right now.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Any of those moments where I get a little too high, just let me know if it needs to scale back or come up, okay?
Will do.
All right, thanks, buddy.
What's that mean?
Yep.
In Minnesota, you can take 10,000 different routes to adventure. One path leads you to bluff country biking and world-class hiking trails.
So you guys will run replays and just let me know, and then I can talk over those a little bit.
And a historic brewery. Navigate by boat to a lakeside restaurant, or cruise downriver with friends on a paddleboard.
Sure,
No
yeah,
matter
that's good.
which route you take, from star-studded concerts to camping under the stars, you're destined to find your true north. Only in Minnesota. Visit exploreminnesota.com.
Did you? Oh. 13:36 to go in the first. Joe O'Donnell, Ryan Carter with you. No score, the Wild and the Wolves here in Game 4.
Face-off plays are important. They run a little switch here where the wing goes to the wall, the other wing goes to the front of the net, and that meant left Liambas all alone. Good screen there, and just missed wide.
Shots are 4-3 in favor of the Wild. The Wild have scored a first period goal in 7 of their 8 Calder Cup playoff games so far. It has certainly helped them to this point during this run, their first ever Calder Cup playoff appearance. The Wolves have won 20 Calder Cup playoff series in their long history, including 2 Calder Cup titles to boot. Here's Leslie out of Guelph from the Ontario Hockey League. Ahead for Kolazar, slams it in. Hammond with his goal stick, dangled nicely around that trapezoid-shaped area. Was careful there not to take a penalty doing so. And now Mayhew spiking one along, looking for Will Bitt, broken up. And it's Tynan looking for McKenzie. Tynan in the slot, down low McKenzie to his forehand, and Hammond came across. He made the save, and a whistle.
Well, I'm not sure Hammond knew that puck was maybe in his pads. The whistle hadn't blown yet, and great little setup by Tynan to, I think it was
McKenzie, I think, there at the bottom of the left circle.
Yeah, and he took it right to the net. It was Hammond. Yeah. Nice little feed here from Tynan to McKenzie. He takes it to the far post. Hammond covers it, but I think the puck's under him, and he doesn't know it's sitting right there. Kolesar takes a couple of whacks at it. Play to the whistle. Coaches always say that was dangerous. I'm not sure Hammond or anybody really knew where the puck was. He got up and it was just kind of sitting there. Wild a little bit lucky that didn't get tapped in. 5-hole.
McKenzie and Kolesar, 2 big hulking wingers that get to the front of the net and play with some jam to their game. Putting them with TJ Tynan in the middle allows Tynan to distribute pucks, use his skill, and then he's got 2 big bodies to go to the front of the net, as we saw right there.
Yeah, and listening to Rocky Thompson talk about that line, he thinks they really complement each other. Tynan's obviously offensive. He sees the ice really well, and he's got 2 big bodies that he can help feed.
Here's a steal by the Wild. A shot! Rebound was sitting there, and a bouncing puck betrayed Reed. It jumped over his stick blade as Cunnin nearly had his 4th of the series. Greenway to it. So a turnover by the Wolves. But Dansk with the shoulder save. Now Greenway motoring ahead, left wing side, deeper in the Wolves zone. Spun it around behind the net as he was checked by Kevin Law, the young defenseman from Colgate. Wolves will poke it out to the neutral zone. Onto the loose puck and backhanding it deep as the aforementioned Law. Hammond out with his goal stick to slip it back along the left wing dasher from his vantage point. Greenway fumbled it a bit. And now we'll spin it middle of the ice for Brendan Manello. Escapes some trouble and attacks. A little self-chip. Manello, right wing side all by himself, dangling down low. Had it poked away. Cunnin will scurry to it and flick it back to the point for Donato covering there. Donato rims it deeper. Wild finish the change with 11:55 to go in the first and no score here in Game 4. Joe O'Donnell, Ryan Carter with you on our simulcast. You're on MC22 as well as 1460 KXNO. Game 5 is Friday night. Here in this building, Glass in left circle, shot by McGinn, blocked by who else? The newly turned 33-year-old. Happy birthday, Nate Prosser. Turned 33 yesterday, and he has been blocking shots all postseason.
He's been great on the kill last game, too. It looked like maybe he got in front of one that was bound for the back of the net. You know, obviously a 1-goal game, that's a huge block. You never know. That's the hard part about blocking shots. You never know when you save a goal unless you got a wide open cage, but those plays add up.
Here's the giveaway by the Wolves moments ago, and Cunnin rifling a quick shot.
Yeah, you know, it seems like the Wild are buying into that mandate of shooting pucks. That's kind of a simple shot from the high slot, and Dansk didn't have a problem with that, but he struggles with the rebound. It kind of sits right there, and just a flat bounce away from Reed tapping that in.
11:28 to go in the first. Wild and Wolves scoreless here in Game 4. Off the center ice draw, McLean muscles it back. Warner hits the center stripe. Frisbees it in from there. Wolves D has to turn and chase. How important will that be in this series? Getting pucks deep and going to work physically, Ryan.
Well, they've got young D, and if you can get young D in pressure situations like this to be uncomfortable and make plays that they don't want to make, that usually results in turnovers and offensive chances for.
Leambich just went for a kill shot along the glass there, and trust me, this is not a news flash. Both teams know when 17 and green is on the playing surface. He makes his presence felt as Wagner for the Wolves deals one in. Warner gets run into by Stefan Matteau. Now Annis right wing side deep in his own zone. Uses some good patience before popping it to Carson Soucy. Soucy with his head up left wing side. D to D for Warner. Center ice pass chunked in by Will Bitten. Wild buzzing to it. It's Mayhew against Reinhardt. Mayhew finishes hit along the glass. O'Reilly now to the blue line. Manel held his own nicely and flipped it down low for Mayhew to chase. Jerry Mayhew battling along the left wing boards. Try to center for O'Reilly. Bunted away. Barkowski gathers in the neutral zone. Force it to Manel. Look out. Stripped by Kolasar. Keegan Kolasar left it behind his back for Tynan. Bottom of the left circle. Carving around the net of Hammond. It is Tynan wheeling up top. Feeding one to Haig for a shot. It was blocked out in front. O'Reilly to the rebound. And now Mayhew. No curl back. The Wild need a change.
That play looked a little bit more dangerous than it was. The Wild doing a really good job right now defending from within. Yeah, they got the shot, but I don't think it didn't get to Hammond, and the rebound sat there with no Wolves around it. Easy. It should have been an easy breakup.
We've cracked the midway point of the first. Shots 5 aside. No score in game 4. Wild from right to left on your radio dial. Manel with a pass stolen. The Wolves attack. Brooks Masick weaving right wing side. 3 points in the series. Lifting one rink wide. Haig shot. Partially muted by the Wild. Getting to it, Quinney. Now Masick and behind the net for Carr. His pass blocked. Look out, a bouncing puck gave Cunnin some trouble. Manel follows it up and hooks up with Greenway. Through center ice, a little stop and go move. Left it back for Reed. Matt Reed trying to throw one in front. It changed directions and gave Dansk some fits deep in his goal crease there. Wolves take over. Masick to Carr. His pass blocked. He'll stay with it. Floated into the Wild zone with 9:10 and counting to go in the first. Both teams change on the fly.
That's a good F3 by the Wild coming back, too. It forces the Chicago Wolves to make a play they don't really want to. Chip it in the corner. It's easy breakout for the Wild.
Back left wing side attacking with a snapper, and Dansk with his right arm to his body makes the save. We're back after this. Good pace so far. 8:59 to go in the first. Another timeout here from Wells Fargo Arena. No score in game 4. Simulcast tonight on Mediacom's MC22 and 1460 KXNO.
If you're looking for the best family dining and your new favorite pork tenderloin sandwich, look no further. I, Big Al, am inviting you to experience my barbecue favorites, the cooked low and slow, fall up the bone barbecue, and the best burger in the state of Iowa. And now,
Andrew.
I'm throwing my Asian man cooking barbecue hat
Andrew.
into the ring for the best pork tenderloin, too.
Yes.
Hey, buddy. Are the breaks are a little bit longer, huh? Like TV, we're not
They're
coming
about
back.
a couple they're about a couple seconds.
So if you can, if you want to play a bonus 30 from time to time to help mitigate that a bit.
Okay.
All right, just because the TV breaks are a little bit longer.
Yeah. No problem. I can do that.
Okay, thanks.
Recommended solutions that are saving us a lot of time and money.
So Laser Resources is insightful and industrious. Impressive.
Laser Resources, recently chosen by Pros Elite as one of the country's top 100 dealerships and Iowa's only elite dealership in Urbandale and at laserresources.com.
This is Cal O'Reilly of the Iowa Wild. You're listening to Wild Podcast.
Just under 9 minutes to go in the first period. Joe O'Donnell, Ryan Carter back here with you. No score, the Wild and the Wolves. Boy, these two teams, they like having nail biters between each other. This includes the regular season, what you're seeing here. 7 of 11 meetings have been one-goal games. 5 have gone overtime. Again, regular season and playoffs combined. Just this year, each team has scored 28 goals coming in. It's been pretty incredible just how evenly matched these two sides have been.
Yeah, and that stat's maybe even a little bit misleading because last game was a one-goal game with an empty netter. You count empty netters, it's even tighter. That's what makes that special teams battle tonight even more important. You find a way to win that battle, that's huge. That's the one-goal difference.
We haven't had a penalty for either side thus far. As we're back to live action. Wolves to a loose puck. McGinn up near the blue line. Sped it along to the hash marks for Glass. First ever draft pick by the Las Vegas Golden Knights. 6 overall in 2017. McGinn tries to loft it in front. Stolen by Prosser. The Elk River, Minnesota native will dish it along for Louis Belpedio. Belpedio off the right wing boards for Donato. Headmanning for Raul. Tips in. Both teams change. Zach Leslie back behind the Wolves' net, controlling for Chicago's defense. He'll start out shaded towards the right circle. Gives it along then to Bischoff, who hammered it ahead. Matteau tips in, and now after the Wild made the Wolves turn and chase, Chicago to do the same to Iowa. It is Wagner behind the net of Hammond, a former teammate of the Wild, Luke Cunnin, at the University of Wisconsin. Wagner fought through a check, moved one to the point. Reinhardt to Law, waiting and just angling it down low. Warner eluded some trouble, got it to Annis right side, but the puck jumped over his stick blade, and again the Wild have to turn and retreat.
If at all possible. I don't think the Wild want to let the Wolves set up and have their controlled breakout against. It's just so easy for the team to get in, and now they've spent the last 35, 40 seconds in their zone off of an easy breakout. If they can control their dumps, get them a little better, a little bit cleaner, and change smart, I think they got a chance to hold them off.
Wild offside here as Anna's got in a bit early as Susie was following up that play left wing side. 7:30 to go in the first period, and we've got no score here in game 4.
I think we saw kind of in the first 5 minutes they were feeling each other out a little bit, but it's opened up a little bit. Seems like they're playing a little bit faster, a little bit more comfortable, controlling pucks, getting shots a little bit more. Kind of the pace I thought we were going to see.
O'Reilly and Tynan on the draw. Neutral ice face-off. Tynan won it back, the former Notre Dame star. White Cloud then to Haig. Lifted ahead, this should be an icing call. Barkowski's back first, and it is icing on the Wolves.
I think this says a lot about Cal O'Reilly too, in that Coach Army puts him out here against Tynan, maybe their best offensive line. He's obviously, this line is trusted and relied upon to score for the Wild, but he's using them to shut down too. Now that's a smart play. Sometimes other teams' offensive players have a tendency to turn the puck over more often, and you want your offensive guys to be able to capitalize on that. But in this situation, I think it's just they're that sound defensively.
Off the face, off the Wild control. Mayhew swings it around behind the Wolves net. Susie activates left wing side. Took a hit from Colasar. Mayhew trying to play one to the point, but with Susie having come crashing down the boards as puck finds center ice. Wild regroup it. Warner to Mayhew, and then quickly to O'Reilly. Cal O'Reilly with 6 points. Back to Mayhew, dancing in, dangling in front. He scores! Jerry Mayhew does it again! And with 6:59 to go in the first, a great pass for O'Reilly, and Mayhew tucks home his 8th of the playoffs.
So important to control the puck through the neutral ice. Cal O'Reilly gets it just inside his own blue line. He skates it through the middle, looks around, head up, finds Jerry Mayhew screaming, catches him. The D are flat-footed, and he takes it all the way to the far post. Nice play by Jerry Mayhew. Gets rewarded again for skating, moving his feet. We talked about it in the pregame show. He has a knack when the puck is on his stick, and Cal O'Reilly has a way of finding it.
6:59 to go in the first. The Wild a 1-0 lead. As Ryan mentioned back at the start of the broadcast, the Wild 4-0 and getting the game's first goal here in the 2019 Calder Cup playoffs. The Wolves had scored first 5 times this postseason, the most in the AHL as they nearly answer, but a chance by Carr rattled wide. Holding in Leslie, poked it down into the corner. Big response shift really for both sides here.
Yeah, goals after you get the momentum, you get the crowd, and the last thing you want to do is give one up. So this is an important shift for the Wild. Obviously important for the Wolves too on the road. If they can silence the crowd and get one back, that's huge.
Left circle one-timer, stopped by Hammond, rebound jabbed away by Barkowski. Wolves get back to it though. Quinney spinning it along for Carr, centering, a chance by Masick. Deflected wide, Carr back on it. Barkowski trying to bottle him up. Masick to turn one around the dasher. Bischoff there, Reed to pressure him. It comes to Leslie for a drive. That didn't get through. Greenway to the carom, left wing boards, hooks it ahead for Manel, and he'll skate out through center ice, gain the red line, and now start over the offensive line as the Wolves player fell down. Drop back for Reed, outside the left circle, fired a shot, the tip, to Dance made the save, rebound! Oh, a glove save by Dance, robbing Manel from in tight to keep it 1-0.
Again, it's just a simple shot. Goalie can't see it, Dance can't see it, maybe a little rebound, Manel's right there. I don't think he got a ton of wood on this. If he does, if he gets wood on it, I think he puts it upstairs, but Dance was able to get a nice little glove on it.
5:46 to go in the first. Back after this, Mayhew has put the Wild in front in Game 4 on Mediacom's MC22.
Imagining a better bank starts with looking at the savings rates most banks offer and saying, really? Capital One is building something better. You can open a Capital One savings account with one of the nation's best savings rates from anywhere, like here, or here, or here. one of the nation's best savings. Opened online at a Capital One location or from anywhere. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
For consumers only. Offered by Capital One and FDIC. Copyright 2018 Capital One.
Family owned and in business since 1981, Bob's Tools is a proud sponsor of your Iowa Wild. Bob's Tools carries a full line of Occidental leather tool bags, construction tools, hand tools, power tools, air compressors, fasteners, toolboxes, and much more. With brands like DeWalt, Klein, Hitachi, and Milwaukee, Bob's Tools can help you hammer out your job. So come see us today, 1493 East Army Post Road in Des Moines. Call us at 515-287-7532 or shop online at bobstools.net. Bob's Tools, we make your job easier.
5 minutes, 46 seconds to go in the first period. Joe O'Donnell, Ryan Carter back here with you. The Wild, after making it 1-0, nearly made it 2-0.
Yeah, Chicago with a tough change. I think that gave the Wild a 3-on-2, a small little 3-on-2, quick little shot. Dance can't see it. Manel's sitting right there on the doorstep. I don't think he got a ton of wood on it. Otherwise, I think he'd have put it up over his shoulder.
Yeah, he had to just kind of go backhand, forehand, and release it quickly, didn't he?
He did.
Wolves off the draw with Hika, starting through center ice. Thomas Hika lofted into the Wild end. Prosser back to defend, now Beck. Hika stays on it though. His pass to the left circle, stripped away by Donato. Ryan Donato leaves it back for Belpedio. He'll wind it in.
Great defensive support there by Donato. Not his guy in the soft area, able to sneak up behind him, lift his stick, and now the Wild are in the offensive zone.
Prosser, right point shot, handled by the blocker of Dance. Oscar Dance, Sunday, stopped 18 of 19, suffered the tough luck loss. Of course, Hammond stopped all 26 he faced. It's a steal and a 2-on-1. Round left circle in, fired. Trying to go short side. Rebound thrown back out in front by Donato. The Wild will chase to it. Belpedio across the line, wristing one, and that ends up in the corner.
Again, we've got the young D. They're trying to make plays. I think they're a little bit uncomfortable right now. They're not making the simple play. Iowa Wild doing good. You know, clogging things up in the neutral zone, able to get a 2-on-1 off there. Raw with the shot short side.
Here's Liambas lugging the puck ahead over the offensive line. Left wing pass, Mitch McLean trying to step past the check. Behind the net of Dance, threw one towards the blue paint. It rolls all the way up top. Barkowski waits to Manel, held the line nicely, wristed a shot right into some shin pads. And the Wolves find the carom with Matthew Weiss. With the Wild upping the ante in the physical play and the intensity department as well.
Yeah, in the physical play, I mean, Liambas, that's obviously his game, but it's not just him. We've seen some physical plays result in possession and zone time, and you know that's something I think that is going to be huge for the Wild moving forward.
Wild finishing a line change. Top line out with O'Reilly, Mayhew, and Pitt. Susie staring down McKenzie in a 1-on-1. McKenzie overskated. O'Reilly taps back. Susie D-to-D at the right circle. Hunter Warner, who picked up the secondary assist on Mayhew's tally moments ago. Less than 4 minutes now to go in the first. Joe O'Donnell, Ryan Carter with you. Wild lead game 4, 1-0. Game 5 Friday night at Wells Fargo Arena, 7 o'clock puck drop. Well, we have a 2-2 series where the Wolves have the Wild on the brink of elimination with a 3-1 lead. Here's Bitton deep in the Wolves zone. On his forehand, got checked off the puck. O'Reilly supported, but his speed got blocked. It rolls free for the Wolves. So carved through neutral ice, and McKenzie will send it deep.
We've got this matchup again in the top two lines together, and right now, I mean, the Wild are winning this matchup. They're playing most of the game in the offensive zone and keeping the Wolves quiet.
Here is Griffin Reinhardt, a former first-round draft pick of the New York Islanders, carrying in the Wild zone. Checked by Warner before he could get a shot off. They go to the corner. Reed and Warner there for the Wild. Hunter Warner emerges, but he couldn't step past Daniel Carr. Carr, though, shoved off the puck, and Reed sprints ahead with Barkowski joining the rush, a possible 3-on-2. Here is Matt Barkowski charging in, and a snapshot from the left circle. Steered away by Law into the safety netting and out of play with just under 3 minutes now to go in the first. Shots are 9-6 Wild, and they have the game's only goal.
Great physical shift out of Hunter Warner there. He steps up on Reinhardt, I think surprised him a little bit, tagged him, put him on his butt. Then he goes, engages in the corner battle, pulls that out. Here you see the hit, steps up. Reinhardt not expecting it, puts him down a little bit. Now he continues on, wins a couple more battles. He has the one slight little turnover, but wins the board battle on the half wall. Wild breakout. Again, alleviates pressure, but that's all based from physical play.
Warner, a 23-year-old from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, played his junior hockey up in the Western Hockey League in Prince Albert. And boy, is he one of the players that has developed a ton under the tutelage of David Cuniff, the Wild associate coach who runs the team's defenseman.
Well, he's been here 3 years too. It seems that he's older than 23 because he's been here a handful of years. He's He's got that look, the long hair, and things about him too. He's very mature for his age. Plays a little bit older than 23.
Barkowski lost it behind his net as Glass stole the puck to the point. White Cloud snapping a shot. It deflects into the corner. Greenway to take over. Use the ice beneath him to carry around his net. A right wing indirect pass. Hooks up with Reed. Smacked along for Cunnin, who turns and angles it deep. Out with his goal stick. Dance got a chunk of it. Haig to McGinn in a return pass, and here's Nick Haig. Big defenseman to the left wing side. White Cloud powered it out the center. Prosser slaps it back the other way. A battle now at the blue line. Donato picks it up. He'll work it back for the control of Prosser.
Wild forecheck is effective right now. It's been a couple of plays now where the Wolves D have gone D to D. They got nothing, so they throw it up the wall right into the pressure, and the Wild able to counterattack.
Minute 52 to go in the first. Dance hangs onto a long wrister that Rao lofted in from center. And with a minute 52 again to go in period one, it's a 1-0 lead for the Wild. And we've got a draw coming to left of Dance.
Thompson comes up at the top line, and who does Army follow him up with? Captain Cal O'Reilly's line. This is the matchup. It's a good start. It's tough. You know, the Wolves are getting these D-zone starts. I'm kind of curious out of Rocky Thompson why he keeps starting them in the D-zone. Well, I think maybe that's probably because all the face-offs are in their D-zone. They'd like to get them offensive zone starts, but they can't right now.
O'Reilly thrown from the circle. Mayhew in to take it against Tynan. Tynan able to win it back. TJ Tynan won a Calder Cup in 2016 with the then Lake Erie Monsters. They now go by the Cleveland Monsters moniker, of course. Belpedio deep in his own zone, checked off the puck. Tynan won to center, nothing there. A battle left of Hammond ensues. Wolves get it to the point. Bischoff a drive, juggled by Hammond. Bouncing puck, deflects wide. Belpedio to Prosser. His pass not able to connect there with O'Reilly, and the Wolves stuff it deeper. Final 83 seconds now of the first. Here is Kolasar. Behind the net of Hammond to the blue line. Now a one-timer by Bischoff. Fought off by Hammond. The rebound was in a dangerous spot. O'Reilly pries it free. And now a left wing pass for Jerry Mayhew. Mayhew all by himself with his line mates changing. Lost the puck over the offensive strike.
Not a turnover I think you want to make. You want to get that puck deep. There's a minute left. You don't want to give anything up the last minute of the game that has hurt the Wild earlier in this playoff. Just get that puck behind the D, change your guys, and move forward.
Wolves paddle it below their goal line. Wild do finish that line change now. It's Cunnin, Greenway, and Reed on the ice. The defensemen are Warner and Barkowski. As the Wolves start up with 40 seconds left in the period. Left wing side over the offensive line comes Wagner. Loads, fires a shot. Kicked out by Hammond. A rebound, not cleared. Greenway on a second try does skip it free and punch it out to center. Wolves try and regroup it with under a half minute to go. Reed hustling to it. He'll spin it deep. Greenway, left wing boards, trying to chase there. Wolves get it up. Reed says no, keeping it alive. Off to Greenway, turning and winding it down low. 15 to go in the period. Reed, left wing corner deep in the offensive zone. Checked along the glass by White Cloud. It's jabbed along the boards. Manel scurries to it. Right wing side. Try to fire it in front. And it tips out of play with just 7 seconds to go in the opening period.
Matt Reed with the play that you want to see, the veteran. 20 seconds left in the period. He just throws it, rims it behind the net. Dance doesn't want to come out because he's playing the clock too. They're able to sustain a little bit of pressure. Now they eat time. They get an opportunity. They get shots on goal. That's how you want to play the last minute. You don't want to turn over the blue lines. Nothing against. You don't want to play in your own zone.
Greenway will take the draw. The right shot. Will lean in here.
Wild stacked up for a one-timer.
The left shot. He's on his backhand. My apologies. And the Wolves here able to win it and wind it out. That will take us to the first intermission. Jerry Mayhew at 13:01, an even strength goal from O'Reilly and Warner, the difference so far. And after one period of play in Game 4, the Wild have a 1-0 lead.
I think the
Wild have tallied 7 goals. They've given up just 3. The Wolves have scored 10, but they've allowed 9 second period goals so far in the postseason. There's a long conversation prior to the start of this period here, which we're about to get to, between Mike Liambis and the 2 referees by the scorers table. And Curtis McKenzie of the Wolves was over there as well, and the 2 players were talking seemed to be rather pleasant, or at least they seem to be getting somewhere with the conversation. Now the officials have gone over to both benches, and we'll see what shakes out from this, if anything.
Both teams may be lobbying for a power play there. I'm not really sure what's going on, but it's odd that they're talking to the coaches. Maybe there's a clock issue or a lineup submission issue or something like that. I'm not sure, but look for a face-off play here too. It looked like the Wolves had a little group going, maybe setting a play up.
O'Reilly and Tynan on the draw, off the face-off. A scrum ensues. Mayhew digs it free, swats it in on his backhand. The Wolves now trying to break it out. They turn it over. Mayhew got upended before he get a shot off. And the Wolves look to counter with Tynan middle of the ice. Poke check by Susie. McKenzie now left wing wall, lost it. Mayhew with a full head of steam. Turning to Chase Haig, and Mayhew lost it at the offensive line.
Yeah, Wild with a good chance on the rush. I think Mayhew maybe had Haig tied up or caught up in his feet a little bit. Could have kept going wide, cut to the middle, and Haig got a stick on it.
Mayhew now battles in front of the Wolves bench. Squeezed one across the surface. Warner to gather. Again, the Wild from left to right on your radio dial in the second as part of our simulcast this evening. Wild 3-0 this year when leading after 20 minutes of play in the postseason. The Wolves 1-1 when trailing after 20. Susie, a diving play to sweep this puck in, and that allows the Wild to change.
Yeah, great step up there by Susie, and then to finish it with a dive to get the puck in deep there, Wild able to get a good change.
Masick turned it over. Greenway lobs it deeper. Reed trying to scurry to it. Instead, it's Whitecloud. Back Whitecloud had his pass stolen. Manel weaving through the slot. Had a poke check loose. It is Reed to hold in and spin it below the goal line looking for Luke Cunnitt. Instead, it's Greenway to step to it. Wheeling out right side. To center point, Barkowski wristing a shot, and it went just wide.
Good zone time here for the Wild. Greenway's using the big body, the big frame down low, able to protect the puck, able to get it up top, get a shot on net.
Wolves get it up, not out. Barkowski holds in, found a man open, right circle, Cunnin firing one, and that caught the glass. Wolves will pick it up and start ahead with Masick, whose speed was intended for Card. Hit Barkowski, trickles into the Wild zone. Wolves get a change in personnel on the fly as Manel goes around behind his own net. Barkowski bottled up, had to push it back along his end wall. Wolves will be the first team to it. McGinn's pass rattled along. It's Glass now high slot, firing one, and that deflected just wide.
Huge save there. Underrated save. That was a tip in the high slot. I'm not sure Hammond tracked it, but he was able to get a piece of it.
Hammond now a couple of more saves. A loose puck top of the goal crease, and Hammond's on top of it. Wild had to be careful there. They use a player to put their glove on top of the puck. It's an automatic penalty shot. Now we have some penalties coming here as a Wolves player got clipped up high on that scrum, deep along the Wild end wall, but a couple of chances for Chicago, and Hammond made a little bit of trouble for himself because he didn't handle that first chance cleanly.
Yeah, and you see this often, a good shift on the offensive zone, but if you stay out there a little bit too long, you extend your shift, maybe hoping to get one late in your shift instead of changing. Team counters, and then you're hemmed in your zone for a little while. That's what happened here. Hammond tips, or the Wolves tip one on Hammond. He struggles to find it a little bit. It's kind of chaos in front of the net. It'd be tough for somebody to find, but they pulled somebody out of this, and it looks like it's only going to be Matt Reed getting one. Somehow, the Wild shorthanded out of this.
I think a Wolves player in that late scrum got clipped up high because there was a player sort of checking for damage, checking for blood. And so the Wolves power play will get its first look. Ankeny All-State Agency penalty kill has been rock solid to say the least. The Wild 8 for 8 this series on the PK, 96.9% this spring, 31 out of 32. That's tops in the American Hockey League Calder Cup playoffs. Wolves have scored 5 power play goals this playoff year. They're at 15.6%, 5 out of 32. That's 9th in the Calder Cup postseason. Off the draw, Wolves win it. Whitecloud to Masick. Then Whitecloud again. Now Tynan right circle, down low in front. Carr had a poke check attempt by Hammond, keep him at bay. Carr's back on it. Behind the Wild net, Prosser, Barkowski, Greenway, and Cunnin to start here on the penalty kill. Scramble for it behind the Wild cage. A log jam.
Good battle. They got to be careful. 4 guys down low. Make sure it can't pop to the center.
Tynan now weaving one to the point. Whitecloud pressured by Cunnin. Just got to pass his reach. Tynan knifes it deeper. Glass fumbled it. Gets it back. Cross ice pass. Tipped by Greenway out through center ice.
Good stick there. The Wild forwards aggressive on the kill. Up high on the Wolves D. Tynan able to come up and get some space. They hit it low and they try to get a little mini 3-on-2 down at the goal line. They tried that a lot in Game 3. Watch them to get to that again in Game 4.
Brett McLean, Wild assistant coach, runs the team's penalty kill. I know you spoke with him this morning. We'll try and get to those thoughts in a moment as Masick hands it along. It is sent to the point now. Whitecloud along to Masick outside the left circle. Center point, Whitecloud, right side, Tynan. Chased by Mayhew, spun it back. Whitecloud a drive, stopped by Hammond, a right pad save, and Susie jabs the rebound away from trouble. 50 seconds ago on the penalty to Reed. Early stages, second period, Wild lead game 4, 1-0.
You see why Tynan's so dangerous on the half wall, his skill set. He can put it down low. He puts a no-look behind the back right on White Cloud's tape for a one-timer.
Now he tries to go through the seam. The Wild chunk it away from trouble. Masick retrieving the puck. Reading it though, Warner dug it free and route. Couldn't clear. Masick holds in. His pass chunked by Mayhew, but kept alive by the Wolves. Carr from a tough angle. Back to Tynan. Bottom of the right circle. Return feed Carr trying to slice out in front. The poke check of Hammond denying him. And Susie will win a battle and force it down the ice.
As a whole, they're huge sticks for the Wild kill. Hammond with the poke check late at the end there too. Stop a little mini 2-on-1 at the goal line. Warner with the good stick. Good sticks all around. Wild get the clear.
Reed out of the box in 5 seconds. Wolves onside with Hika trying to knife one in front. It deflected. And look out, the Wild with numbers if they hustle. Bitten those slow down. Following up the play, Prosser. Penalty is over. And Beck will saunter through center ice and lay it in. Wild finish a change behind the play.
Wild's kill's just so aggressive. Chicago now with a lot of time. If they don't get it set up, they're not getting any opportunities off it. Great kill.
Cunnin steals. Sorry, Ryan. To the point, Belpedio. Right side, Prosser. Faked the shot, then had his wrister blocked. They came back to him. Will turn an angle one down low. Cunnin to the carom. Luke Cunnin. And Nate Prosser as he activated from the point. Behind the net for Reed. Haig pinning him up for a moment. Hika couldn't steer it out of his own zone. Reed again battles. Hika to re-emerge, and now Curtis McKenzie skating to his right. Chased by Greenway as he fends off that check. Got into the zone, and Belpedio shoved him down. Rolls back on it. Will cycle along the corner. Belpedio, though, the first man to it. Try to flip it behind his net. Stolen away by Stefan Matteau. Matteau bumped a few times by Prosser. Matteau still on the puck. His pass down low, chunked away for a moment. Greenway slicing at it, forces it out to center. Annis in a foot race, but back versus Reinhart.
Cunnin pinned out there for a while. Long shift for him, able to change there. That's a big change. If your centerman stuck out there, that's a tough guy to have on the ice for a while. Wolves
Nudge it deep into the Wild zone. Belpedio wanting at it. Annis tipped to Mitch McLean. Quickly back to Annis. Peeled it back along for McLean. Bottled up by McGinn. Prosser helps out and goes D to Belpedio. Just rim it ahead. Greenway got a piece of it. Hit the linesman's skates. Wolves have to clear the zone as they fly it deep again, and both teams look for a change.
Wild seem to have less time right now. Chicago moving their feet a little bit more, playing a little bit faster. Wild with less time to make clean, crisp plays. And Chicago's kind of taking it to him right now.
White Cloud off the glass and through center. Barkowski gobbled it up, trickled it back along. It comes back to Barkowski at his own left circle. Veteran defenseman, headmanning, stretch pass for Mayhew. In onside, he's got a step. Mayhew left circle, carving in front, and he couldn't get a shot off cleanly.
You see Mayhew playing a big man's game again, taking the puck to the net. That's twice now he's been able to do that. He's got a little frame, but he plays with a big heart.
There's O'Reilly right side. In front, a pass tip. It's still loose, top of the blue paint. They battle for it. The Wolves chop it away from trouble. White Cloud behind his own net, rammed by Mayhew. Barkowski came pinching in. Wolves take over. O'Reilly busting his way back, and he stole the puck from Colasar, keeping that possible odd man rush at bay. Into the corner they go.
That was a huge stick win. He was kind of on the offensive side of McKenzie there, and that's not a good spot to be. Able to pickpocket him though and take the puck.
Penalty call coming up on the Wild as Mayhew came up high on his man. Now Tyne into the right circle. Danson's going to the bench for the extra attacker. Wolves have it with Carr, surveying, waiting, wristing a shot. It tipped wide, came back out off the end wall for a try that wouldn't go. And with 7:01 played in the second, a Wolves power play. When we come back, crowd giving it to the men in stripes. With the Wild leading game 4-1-0. Wolves power play when we come back to Wells Fargo Arena. Simulcast tonight on Mediacom's MC22 and 1460 KXNO. Trails and enjoying the fun and food of the Court Avenue Entertainment District. Sound good? Then don't just visit downtown, live downtown. And there's no better place than Confluence on 3rd in the middle of all the action. Confluence on 3rd offers luxurious studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartment homes, plus a swimming pool, yoga studio, internet, underground parking, and more outdoor and rooftop space than anyone else. Learn more at confluenceon3rdapartments.com. Find them on Facebook or call them at 515-348-6511. Confluence on 3rd is an equal housing opportunity. The Iowa Wild and Chicago Wolves play Game 5 of the Central Division Finals Friday night at 7 p.m. from Wells Fargo Arena. All Friday night Wild home games feature $2 beers presented by 100.3 The Bus. Plus, enjoy great Captain Morgan drink specials and a rally towel giveaway. That's the Wild and the Wolves Game 5, Friday night at 7 p.m. Get your tickets now at iowawild.com. Iowa Wild playoff hockey. The hunt continues. It's 1-0 Iowa with 12:59 to go in the second. Joe O'Donnell, Ryan Carter back here with you. Wolves going to a power play because of this.
Yeah, we talked about on the offensive end, Mayhew plays with an edge there. He gets the stick up high. They're going to call that one every time. Not a good penalty. The Wild, the last game too, the kill has been good, but you don't want them to stack up. You don't want your guys to fatigue. I talked to Brett McLean this afternoon. They have 7 forwards they can trust, but you don't want to wear these guys out, not in the middle frame.
And one of those players in the box right now, and Mayhew, a big part of the Ankeny All-State A&C penalty kill. Wolves center for a one-timer. Not much behind it, sticked into the corner by Hammond. Loose puck now behind the Wild goal line. It's Prosser for Cunnin, jabbed it up, not out. Great keep at the point by Whitecloud. Wolves work it down low. Barkowski blocked a cross-ice pass.
Huge block there on that pass. That was Mesa coming in on the backside all alone.
Tynan right circle, cross-ice dish, Redden cut off by Greenway, sliced at by Prosser. Wolves bat it down. It comes to the point. Whitecloud hounded by Greenway. Masick holds his own. Right wing side, Tynan charging in, goal line pass and a centering feed, and again Greenway a great read to break it up and send it out of play.
Yeah, and that's the Wolves have so many options there. Tynan's looking at all one-timers, so he's a righty, he's looking at all righties. He's able to make a few plays. He's gone down low, so now the Wild are maybe condensing down low a little bit, and they hit that popper. It's a good recognition by Greenway on the weak side to get his big long stick in there and break that up.
The Wolves in Game 3, it's my understanding, start to use that goal line play more on their power play. I guess it just gives the Wild PK something else to think about.
Yeah, and I think the Wild, the way they run their PK, they let their D up high, so that opens up some space down there for that player, that Wolves player on the goal line. And right now they're trying to exploit that space.
Here is Tynan, right circles, are back to live action, taking a shot in the belly of Hammond. Susie didn't like that late slash by the Wolves player. He begs for a call, none coming. 1:06 to go in the Ankeny All-State Agency penalty kill with Mayhew in the box. 12:05 to go in the second. The Wolves have the only 6 shots of this period. And right now they lead in shots over the Wild 16-10. Wild with a 1-0 lead though on the scoreboard.
5 versus 4, you know you're going to give something up. You got to give something up. That's not a bad shot. Tynan walking down off the half wall. Hammond can see it the entire way. Nobody in front of him. Able to control the rebound. If you got to give something up, that's not a dangerous shot.
Cunnin and Quinney on the draw now for the respective sides. Face off to the left of Hammond. 2 centermen asked to reset. Rest of the penalty killers for the Wild are Greenway, Warner, and Susie off the draw. Bouncing puck. Susie skates to it. Right side loads and blisters it down the surface.
That's a tough task. Luke Cunnin asked to take that draw on his offside, still wins it. Now because of that, they're going to be able to kill 15-20 seconds up, screw up the flow of the Wolves power play right now too.
Greenway shorthanded, steals, tries to dance in front. He does with one hand. He draws a power play here coming for the Wild. Greenway now to rocket it all the way back down. Hammond had started for the bench. He'll come back now, and as McKenzie touches up, you see what Greenway was trying to do there, rag some time off the rest of the Wolves power play, but Greenway's size and strength and puck protection skills on full display there.
Yeah, a couple notes here. Greenway, he just beat 2 guys with one hand. Somebody's holding on, and we still possessed the puck the whole time. Had the wherewithal to try to kill more time on their own penalty. Gets the puck up. But here it is. You see Greenway, he's only got one hand, but they can't do anything about it. 1v3 right now. Here's where he throws it up, and a smart play by Barkowski not to touch that puck and to just let it go. Could have been too many men. He's like, it's not worth it right now. Let it go. Wolves touch the puck. They've got 35 seconds, 4-on-4, and then the power play following.
11:33 to go in the second. Joe O'Donnell, Ryan Carter with you. Wild from left to right on your radio dial for our fans on 1460 KXNO tonight. Draw to the left of Dansk, deep in the Wolves zone. Dansk, a 2012 draft pick of Columbus, a second-round selection. Played 1 year for their farm team in Springfield of the AHL, then went back to Sweden, eventually signed with Las Vegas. And now his second year with the Wolves. 4-on-4 hockey here. For another 20 seconds, Wolves have it. Bischoff paddling it along, curling back with it, Mateau. Had a couple of assists in the Game 2 win at home over this Wild team. Here's Quinney now speeding in, trying to get out in front. Had a carve behind the net because of the pressure of Barkowski. 5 seconds from now, it'll be the first Iowa Lottery power play of the contest as Reed handles past some trouble and then pushes it the way of Barkowski.
I think that lineup they just had out there 4-on-4 shows the offensive depth of Chicago. They had Mateau out there 4-on-4. That's their fourth line winger.
Wild get some fresh bodies out. Iowa Lottery power play. To start up 0 for 3 in Game 3 on Sunday, but 7 power play goals this spring for the Wild. Mayhew to Annis. Tapping 3 for Jerry Mayhew. Chucked it around the boards. Rao had it bounce past him, and it rolls back out to center. 50 seconds left. Now on the abbreviated power play. Manel to O'Reilly. He'll curl back and reset the man advantage. O'Reilly with an assist on the only goal of the game. Now Manel over the offensive line. Trickled it to Mayhew. Tap back for Rao. Faked the pass across the stripe, carries in, rolled it in the corner. Mayhew had to reach for it. Now O'Reilly dinking it free. Rao taps to the point. Manel across the blue line. Left circle O'Reilly. Cross ice is pass to Flex. Annis will retrieve it. 25 to go in the power play. Annis with a pass block. Wolves trying to counter. Shorthanded Carr. Looking for Tynan. Blocked by Manel was that pass. Tynan and Carr both going to the corner looking to work a little two-man game with a Wild steal. And one last burst on the power play as Rao powers ahead. O'Reilly over the offensive line. Swept the feed that was knocked away by McGinn. Power play about to expire. Numbers here for the Wolves if they want it. Leslie right circle, dropping it back. McGinn, late man coming open. White Cloud on the back post. And that went errant.
Wow, that was 2D. Leslie on the back door. If he just moves to his backhand, he's got an easy tap, and he tried to touch it with his forehand. Luckily for the Wild, he missed that one.
9:15 to go in the second period. Full strength hockey for each side at the blue line. Greenway pressures Hika. Hika able to flop it along to time again. A left circle chance deflected. Hika lost it. So did Hammond's side of the net. Scooping it up Manel. He'll skate to his right and sky it out to center. As the Wild in need of a change here. Reed fell down the neutral zone. That allows Whitecloud to take over. Zach Whitecloud, Brandon Manitoba boy, looking for time again. Dealt with there by Manel. Again holds the stripe. Rattles one down low. Fresh off the bench is Law. He'll pinch in from his point position. Carr behind the net of Hammond came with a wraparound try that bounced in the blue paint, and Hammond salts it away.
Really just a long shift for the Wild. They're paying for it right now, too. A couple of dangerous chances again. Hammond there when they needed him, but O'Reilly, a long shift. Minute 35 on the power play, plus whatever's been added on that. Maybe a 2-minute shift. Manel, he's leaning on his stick right now, too. Tired guys, fortunate to get away from that without a penalty and without anything against.
Back after this, Wild lead 1-0 in Game 4 on Mediacom's MC22.
Of course you know that if your car battery is dead, you can reach for a AAA membership card to come to your rescue. But did you know that a AAA card has you covered with more than roadside assistance, like a cruise or a vacation package, a savings account, discounts at thousands of locations, plus auto, home, and life insurance, free identity theft protection, and more. So get a AAA card and expect something more. To learn more, call 1-800-222-1333, go to AAA.com, or visit your local AAA office.
Laser Resources, they're our vendor for copiers and printers.
LRI? What does the I stand for?
Oh, I would say ingenious or innovative. They analyzed our printing costs and workflow and recommended solutions that are saving us a lot of time and money.
So Laser Resources is insightful and industrious. Impressive.
Laser Resources, recently chosen by Pros Elite as one of the country's top 100 dealerships and Iowa's only elite dealership in Urbandale and at laserresources.com.
This is Cal.
8:41 to go in the second period. Joe O'Donnell, Ryan Carter with you from Wells Fargo Arena. It is Game 4. The Wild trail the best of 7, 2-1. Here's a look at what else is shaking in the division finals around the Calder Cup playoffs. Toronto, the defending champs, have moved on. They swept Cleveland 4-0, winning Game 4 last night. San Diego and Bakersfield played later tonight. There you see the Golds with a 2-0 series lead. And we've just found out that Charlotte did win tonight in Hershey. So another sweep in the Eastern Conference. The Checkers, the top team in the regular season, will play the Marlies in the Eastern Conference Finals. Saved there by Hammond off the faceoff. 8:36 to go in the second. The Wolves now with 9 second period shots. They had 9 in the first. The Wild without a shot on goal here in the second. They've been shorthanded, albeit for 4 minutes of the frame.
Yeah, I think Tim Army, the TV timeout came at a good time for the Wild. Army on the bench probably telling them, hey, calm down. Let's get back to it. Let's get the puck behind their goal line. Let's eat a couple minutes. Let's break them down. Right now they're feeling too good. Make it tough on them.
Liambus to Mitch McLean through the neutral zone. His long shot sails off the end glass. McLean and Leambus chase to it. McLean won the war. Threw one up top. Prosser stepped into a drive. Stopped by Dance. Rebound. Hannes was hoping for it. So was McLean. But the Wolves come out unscathed for at least a moment. Leambus then steals and knocks it back behind the Wolves' net. Hannes to try and dig it free against Law. Leambus came flying in there. And the Wolves emerge. Reinhardt's pass stolen though by Susi. And again, the Wolves have to turn and chase. To your point, some offensive zone time here for the home side.
And when you need a momentum shift, who do you put out there? Mike Leambus. A couple of checks, he saw their D bail out. They could have made the play, they didn't want to. He bails on it, Wild able to get possession. Now they get some zone time, now they're feeling good. They get a change, possessing the puck the last minute and a half.
Here's Cunnin coming out of his own zone for the Wild. Left it behind his back for Susi. A left wing feed, tipped, so no icing. Ends up deep in the Wolves' end. Reed on the forecheck. Greenway follows it up. Greenway looking to nudge one back to the point. Wolves so able to take over. Carr and Masick playing a little two-man game. Now Haig over the offensive line, left wing side, threw one in front. Hammond from his stick to his glove, and he gets a whistle.
Not sure Hammond wanted to catch that one. It kind of looked like maybe he was trying to deflect it in the corner, but whistle doesn't kill. The Wild are doing pretty good on faceoffs tonight. Here we get a look at it. Just a simple pass off the pad is what he's trying to do, but he gets the stick on it right into his own glove. If he did that on purpose, that is a skill play, though.
Draw to the right of Hammond coming. Andrew Hammond, 5 career Calder Cup playoff wins in this building coming into this game this postseason. He had stopped 88 of the 89 shots he had faced against the Wild, a perfect 3-0 in this barn in the 2019 Calder Cup playoffs before this pivotal Game 4. Wolves emerge with Quinney throwing one in front, a backhander, and Hammond has it long enough for a whistle.
Looks like, you know, some of these plays, I think the Wild maybe have lost focus a little bit. You know, you look at their body language on these faceoffs right now, you want to see somebody on their toes, ready to jump, get your bump, get your, know your assignment. Looks like they're just a little bit, a half step slow, and because of that, Hammond's needing to bail them out.
Shots right now 20-11 in favor of the Wolves. Joe O'Donnell, Ryan Carter here with you. Wild Hockey tonight, presented by Iowa Ortho, CenturyLink, and Liuna. Feel the power.
We got this matchup now, Tynan versus O'Reilly, but now Tynan's able to get the offensive zone start. We talked about the first period, it seemed like they were always starting the D zone. Well, the tides have turned. Now they're in the O zone.
O'Reilly on the draw, 7 points in 7 regular season games against the Wolves for the longtime pro. Off the face-off, Susi emerges. Then to Warner, trickled it between his legs. Bitten backhands it off the dasher. Mayhew swatting at it, knocked it free. A possible 2-on-1 with Susi driving the net. Mayhew right circle, lost the puck just as he went to maybe pull the trigger on a backdoor pass.
Yeah, he had Susi driving back there. I think he saw it. He was waiting for just that stick to appear behind the D's skates there, and as he did, the puck jumped on him.
White Cloud coming out of his own zone. Bitten slowed him down. Susi pinched down the dasher. Wolves had it, lost it. Mayhew trying to carve through the slot. He was poke checked. And Chicago starts up with Curtis McKenzie. Last year played for the Texas Stars. They lost in the Calder Cup final to Toronto in Game 7 on the road. Here's Mayhew now, left wing side for Iowa's pass. Hits some skates, careens out the center. Leslie handles it. Zach Leslie skating backwards in his own slot. Now flicks it along where Bischoff will take over. Bischoff assisted on the game-winning goal in a decisive Game 5 in the first round. Keegan Colasar had the eventual game winner against the Grand Rapids Griffins. And Bischoff, the man that set it up. It's the Wild now out of their own zone. O'Reilly to Reed. And now it is Jordan Greenway carrying in. Greenway deep into the offensive zone. A tough angle shot just missed. And it skips back out the center. Prosser able to gobble it up.
I've really liked Hunter Warner's game. He's got the assist on goal one, but he's made some great plays on breakouts too. He's just little passes. He's got his head on a swivel, making short little passes. The guys supporting him, and they're getting out of the zone early.
Less than 6 minutes now to go in the second period. Wild lead Game 4, 1-0. Cunnin battles deep in the Wolves zone. Had it knocked away, though, by Quinney. His pass, though, slowed down by Greenway. Trickled it free for Reed. Greenway back on it, now curling it below the goal line for Reed. Coming out from a tough angle. Left circle, now high slot. Left it back for Prosser, and he just had a stab at it with the Wolves' pressure coming his way.
Yeah, I think Prosser was starting to turn for a one-timer, and Reed maybe thought he was going to skate around the other side. The puck was kind of left in a spot that was tough to get, but a good battle there by Prosser to win it and put it deep.
Here's Carr for the Wolves. From the red line left side, Daniel Carr, 4 assists in the first 2 games of the series. He was held off the board in Game 3. He missed the start of the Calder Cup playoffs. In fact, he missed time from March 5th all the way until Game 1 of this series. Wolves back in their own zone, back pressure. So does Rao. Now Donato trying to sneak one on a steal on the forecheck. Wolves knock it out to the neutral zone. Donato on the backside, pressure, takes over, skates below his goal line, then reverses. Barkowski dinks it along. Beck charging to it. He got hit hard. Wolves trying to speed one back to the point, knocked away. Into the corner they go again over the left shoulder of Hammond. Log jam along the dasher. Wolves emerge. At the blue line, Law. Rotated it deeper. Barkowski takes over. Peeled it into the left wing corner. Beck slicing at it. Rao will flick it ahead with Donato. Possible numbers here for the Wild. Manel coming late. Rao dropping it that way. Manel in the slot. Fired a shot, and Dance made the save. He looked around, but he's got it for a whistle.
And that's textbook defending. I think the Wild struggled a little bit with the size of the Wolves down low. They were able to win those corner battles, but they stuck with it. They were 5 tight, able to maybe get a little pseudo 3-on-2. Nice play by Manel to jump in. And here's the mandate that I think they got away from the last 5 minutes. Shoot. He had somebody backdoor, could have passed it. You know what? We've been struggling this period. I'm going to get my shot and hope for the best.
1-0 Wild in Game 4, late in the second on Mediacom's MC22.
When you step
Donato
inside
back there,
Bar
huh?
Louie after a long day of adulting, you may find yourself with the urge to loosen your tie. You should not fight this urge, because at Bar Louie, loosening a tie is not just an act of comfort. It marks the triumphant return of the real you. Head to Bar Louie, you straight up. See you for happy hour. Half price apps and flatbreads. $3.50 draft beers. $4.50 wine by the glass.
Yeah, I mean, I
$5.50
think there was talk
signature
that maybe this
martinis.
could be his last
Monday
game
through
as a
Friday,
starter.
4 to
You know,
7.
if they lose, he's
If you haven't been to Dino's Bar and Grill yet, you're doing yourself a
Did he score?
disservice.
Yeah.
Dino's serves up fabulous
We have 8
dishes
staples in his
carefully
head that
prepared by a
everybody-
devoted team of chefs to ensure a fantastic meal. The beer, wine, and cocktail list has something for everyone to ensure a good time is had by all. Stop by Dino's Bar and Grill on the corner of 60th and Ashworth Monday through Saturday for lunch or dinner, and see for yourself how great eating local can be.
This is Carson Soucy, Iowa Wild.
Final 4:16 of period 2. Wild lead this pivotal Game 4, 1-0 on a first period goal from Jerry Mayhew, his 8th of the playoffs that leads the entire circuit. 5-on-5 hockey here. Draw to the right of Oscar Dance, the Wolves netminder. Cunnin, Reed, and Greenway for the Wild. Soucy and Warner, the defensemen. McQuinney, Carr, and Masick line out for the Wolves with the defense of Haig and Whitecloud. We are back to live action. Wolves get it through the neutral zone. Logjam now just inside the Wild blue line. It comes to the point for Haig, who can really shoot it. This time he just rims it around the dasher. Greenway got a piece of it. Soucy got to come into his wheelhouse, and he'll fight it out to the neutral zone. Reed won a battle and muscled it in. The Wild will get some fresh defensemen out.
This deep pair has just been real hard for Chicago to play against. Between the two of them, they're winning their physical battles. They're moving their feet. They're helping support all the way up their wall. That was Soucy up by the blue line winning that puck battle.
Here's Prosser fresh off the bench, right wing side, lifting it rink wide. Greenway navigates through center, pops it in, as both teams now do get a change in personnel.
That's where you want to be a little bit smarter with your dump if you can. Make it hard on them. They got the controlled forecheck now. Let's see how it plays out.
Whitecloud to Haig, left side, just springs it along. That went too far. Icing here as Belpedio back ahead of the Chicago pressure. 3:16 to go in the second period. Wild with a 1-0 lead in Game 4.
Yeah, I think the Wild have done a good job since the halfway point of the period, maybe turning the tides where they were on their heels, they were taking penalties. Now they've kind of flipped that a little bit. You know, they've brought some energy, some offensive zone time, some shots finally. Now they're getting opportunities to even this period out.
Draw to the left of Oscar Dance. Two-time medalist in the World Juniors with his native Sweden. Off the face-off, it's Liambus, McLean, and Annis for the Wild. McLean waiting for a puck, right wing wall. Took a check along the boards from Matthew Weiss. It comes out in front of the Chicago net. Wagner was there to skate it away from trouble. And now it is Whitecloud bottled up along the boards by McLean to the point. Prosser, long Belpedio, one-timer, broke his stick in two, not much behind it. Dansk able to steer it away. Manel could not hold the line, and he'll regroup it. He was fresh off the bench there to replace Belpedio, who had broken his stick. Prosser labels it through center now right side. McLean headmans, and it ends up deep in the Wolves zone.
Yeah, that broken stick cost him twice there. Belpedio on the shot, and then the quick change, unable to keep the puck in the zone.
Manel worked it towards the goal line. Mayhew reverses the flow. O'Reilly, left wing corner, stepping past Haig behind the Wolves net. Here comes O'Reilly, coming out right circle, looking for some help. Fake the pass on the activating defenseman now Barkowski a bit. Deflected down by Mayhew, but it never got through to Dansk. Again to the left point, Barkowski. Now this time Manel with a lane, charging in. Took a shot! That hit Bitten, and it careens back out to center ice.
Chicago lucky that hit Bitten. That looked like it was going for the top corner far side. I'm not sure Dansk had eyes on it either.
Wild rim it back in. They chased to it as well. O'Reilly, though, forced off the puck for a moment. Wolves lost sight of it. They do then pump it the way of Mateau, and left wing side, who hit the weak side D, or the weak side player coming. Kolasar, the big winger. Little give and go, and the Wolves enter. Kolasar outside the right circle to the point. Tynan covering there, knifing his way through some trouble, leaving it back then for Leslie, who waits and then try to fire one. Mayhew had it bounce off his skates, and it ends up over the left shoulder of Hammond. Final 95 seconds of the second period. Wild leading game 4, 1-0. Leslie for the Wolves defense. Across the blue line, a shot tipped by Mayhew. Off the glass, it stays in play. Manel jabs at it. Again, the Wild don't get it out. Wolves sweep it deeper. Curtis McKenzie left wing side to the goal line. Kolasar protects. The Winnipeg native rolled it into the corner, hoping for Glass. Hounded by Barkowski, so he feathers one up top for Leslie. Again across the blue line, barely kept it in. Freshman coming off the bench is Hika. Wild need a change here. Hika to the point, Bischoff. Sped down low, McKenzie on it. Curtis McKenzie with a minute to go. Tired green jerseys out there. A long shot by McKenzie, fended away by Hammond. Manel battling for the rebound, couldn't get there. Now Hika coming out in front with a shot. It was blocked into the corner. Wanded up, not out. Leslie drives one, it tipped, and Hammond made a save. It goes into the corner. Manel off the glass will just get some pressure relieved here, sending it all the way down. It'll be an icing call, but at least a chance for the Wild to reset for a moment.
Yeah, we'll see if Army maybe tries to take a timeout. It's a one-goal game. I don't think you want to use it this early in the game, but that was a long shift. 37 seconds of big momentum, 37 seconds too right now. Guys are bending at their knees. Hammond, he's maybe got a veteran play over there. Did he unbuckle his helmet, maybe buying himself an extra second or two?
We saw that in game 3 as well. Hammond had some very convenient timing on a pad that needed some work on a similar sequence in game 3.
This is where you want to rely on your goaltender too. If you get a shot on you, do your best to freeze it. Let your team get a change.
Winnie thrown from the draw, that buys the Wild a few more seconds. Now it's O'Reilly and McGinn on the draw. McGinn hails from Fergus, Ontario, the big power forward. Joined the Wolves in the middle of the season after starting the campaign with the Manitoba Moose. A half minute left now. Wolves dig one free, right wing corner. McGinn trying to stuff it in front, knocked away by O'Reilly. His pass stolen by Carr on his backhand, flipped it around behind the net looking for Quinney, knifed away by the Wild. Mayhew left side just pitchforks it out through center. Again, another icing call coming, but down to the final 15.7 now in the period.
Yeah, that's tough. You want to get the puck out. You want to get the change. Sometimes you make tired plays. You start to think tired too. Maybe you can put that in a soft area, get a change. The icing, it doesn't kill you, but it's not the play you want.
This time the face off to the left of Hammond. Wild trying to hang on and get to intermission. O'Reilly again tasked with taking this draw. He deals with Glass. Glass won it. Carr to the point. Whitecloud angles it into the corner. Masick tries to center, knocked away by the Wild. Final 7 in the frame. Mayhew with his glove, punching it up, not out. A long chance, sails wide. 3 to go in the period. Barkowski to it. And we will hit the second intermission, the same spot we were after 20 minutes of play. With the goal by Mayhew, the only tally so far.
5 tired guys.
Regardless of tonight's outcome, Game 5 Friday night. Tickets at iowawild.com. Great drink specials, a rally towel giveaway, and a massive game coming your way Friday night here from Wells Fargo Arena. We're underway in the third. Joe O'Donnell, Ryan Carter with you. Wild from right to left on your radio dial if you're with us tonight on our flagship home 1460 KXNO. Wild leading 1-0 after 2 periods of play. We start the period 5-on-5. What are you looking for early, Carts? The Wild protecting a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, well, one from the Chicago side. I'm curious, Coach Rocky Thompson had talked about how his D were maybe their offensive catalyst. I haven't seen him jump in a lot. I haven't seen a lot of pinches holding it in. Looking to see if they're going to be more active down a goal. It's a team that's maybe even built to play from behind. They're offensively deep, but maybe built to play from behind. We'll see how they jump in and do things. On the Wild side, get things in the net and crash it. Find a way to get an ugly one, get yourself a cushion.
Opening minute of the third, the Wild 3-1 this spring when leading after 2 periods. Their one loss came in Game 1 at Allstate Arena against this Wolves club. Hague tied in the third. Chicago won it late in the first overtime on a goal by Cody Glass. Wolves 1-3. when trailing after 40 minutes as Glass offers one in front. It goes wide. Hika checked by Beck for a moment. Hika back on the puck from low to high, and now Leslie a one-timer, and that deflected high and wide. McGinn wins a battle. Left wing side is passed to the point, barely held in for a moment. Now the Wild do fight it out the center, and McGinn has to regroup it back from the left wing boards. Bischoff labels it deep.
Boy, these two teams are comfortable playing in close games against each other, too. We talked about it earlier. Every game seems to be a one-goal game. Game 3, despite the fact that there was an empty netter, that's a one-goal game. Here we are again. Also pretty amazing. Turnover by Greenway here.
Greenway steals a tough angle wrister handled by the stick of Dansk, you were saying?
Yeah, still amazing with the offensive depth on paper between these two teams that in the last 100 minutes, they've scored 3 goals, and one of them's an empty netter.
Here's Belpedio, point shot. That went wide. Greenway nearly had it find him right off the end wall, but he couldn't get positioned for it. Now Reed, left wing side. Matt Reed came into this game, tied for the team lead in points in the playoffs with 8. In fact, the Wild had 3 players with 8 points, Cunnin, Mayhew, and Greenway. And Mayhew's added to that with his 9th point, including his 8th goal. That's the only tally so far. Good pressure by the Wild here in the offensive zone. Prosser battles deep in the right wing corner, taking over the Wolves. They'll steer it around their end wall and try a right wing pass for Brooks Mason.
Yeah, when Greenway gets the puck in the offensive zone, it seems like Chicago really has a hard time with his size. Somebody's always holding on to one arm, and he's strong enough where he can handle the puck and make plays with one arm too. That's just dangerous.
Here's Annis darting ahead for the Wild attack. Right wing wall, waiting, threw one in front at the flex, and the Wolves now look to counter. Annis will bust his way back, is carrying ahead Ryan Wagner. Off to Stefan Matteau. Matteau from the hash marks, took a shot, rebound came right back to him. Barkowski, though, able to deal it away from immediate danger. Weiss now spinning up, buying himself some real estate. Prosser uses chest to block that wrister away from trouble and force it out the center.
You see that he just chest bumped that all the way out to the center ice. I don't know what he's got there for a chest plate, but wow, that came off heavy.
A little bit of a soccer-style trap there with the chest. Manel now to punch it along, and here's Jerry Mayhew, the only goal scorer for either side. Couldn't get very deep into the Wolves zone as the poke check of Leslie denied him. White Cloud with some trouble with it. Barkowski, a left wing point shot, handled by Dansk, rebound to Bint, looking for O'Reilly for a one-timer, it was blocked. Bint retreats at the point. Barkowski's big drive, deflected wide. O'Reilly now to the right point, and Manel had to jam him. It squeezed out the center. Look out, he's being hounded by Tynan, so he swoops it along to O'Reilly and quickly pitch back for Barkowski, and now left wing side Mayhew out through center ice.
Here's another spot. The neutral zone is going to be very critical this last 20 minutes. Wild need to make sure that they're managing the puck well, no turnovers. They've got the 1-goal lead. Don't give anything easy against. Find a way to get a hard one down below their goal line, but nothing easy against.
Sharp angled chance by Bischoff, the Wolves defenseman, is handled by Hammond. He holds play. 16-10 to go in the third. The Wild have outscored their opponents 12-4 in the third period of the Calder Cup playoffs, as we see another look at that Barkowski chance that went wide. The Wolves have been outscored 8-5 in third period play so far this postseason.
Yeah, I like the shot there. Just didn't think about it. Fires the puck. He had a man in front. Chicago had 3 guys there, but hey, it's going to be tough for Dansk to see. I like that decision. Shoot the puck.
Face off to the right of Hammond. Wolves leading shots 24-16. The Wild have been outshot in 4 straight games here in the Calder Cup playoffs, including each of the first 3 of this Central Division Finals matchup against the top-seeded Wolves. Chicago winning back-to-back division titles. As Prosser now out of his right wing corner. Headman's looking for Donato. Wolves keep it alive for a moment. Beck then chips it out the center. Donato skates to it and attacks left wing wall. Slipping past Leslie. Ryan Donato below the goal line. Checked off the puck. Leslie to Hika. One touched it to McGinn, who swerves through center and knifes it along for Glass. Back into the corner for McGinn, met there by Belpedio. Donato now off his end wall. Wolves take over for a moment. Hika scurries to it, Prosser tracing on him. It comes to the point, Leslie nearly lost it, and he did. And offside are the Wolves with 4:38 played in the third.
Leslie doesn't agree with this, doesn't think it was offsides, plays it with his skate to stick. I don't know that it's reviewable right now, but offside's the call. Here's a closer look at it. Maybe it comes off there when he pulls it back into forehand. Nonetheless, it's going to be a neutral zone draw. Again, it's going to be important. Greenway skating off with 2 sticks right now, too. I think he can only play with 1, but it's going to be important for the Wild to manage the puck and win those battles at those critical areas like the blue line there. If they can force guys into offsides, get the puck out, it's going to be huge.
That was Colton Beck's lumber. He's just being a good teammate.
Oh, he's helping him out.
I'm sure Greenway will remind him of that sometime when he needs a favor. It's a backhander from in tight, handled by Hammond. Loose puck side of the net, they jab away, and Hammond up against the post to his right gets a whistle.
Susie with a little extracurricular and Tynan doesn't like it, just giving him a shot, letting him know that, hey, this is my ice. You come in here, I'm a little bit bigger than you. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be easy.
How important is it for the Wild during this run to have the depth on defense they have, meaning across the pairs? And Nate Prosser there at the second intermission talked about, back the first intermission, you chatted with Cal O'Reilly there outside the Wild bench. You talked about Prosser and Susie playing against the Tynan line. Then you have Barkowski, who's got a plethora of experience, not only the Stanley Cup playoffs, but here in the Calder Cup playoffs. You've got him playing with Brennan Manel, who's an up-and-coming defenseman in the organization. And then you have Prosser with Belpedio. Nate Prosser has been to the Calder Cup finals before, back in 2011 with Houston. So on all three pairs, you've got some physicality, and you've got some experience, especially on two of the three pairs.
Well, and I think you have some offense, too, in those pairs, so it's really well balanced from top to bottom. And here's another thing. I was talking to Brett McLean about the penalty kill, and he said, hey, listen, we have 6D that I trust on the kill, which says a lot. You know, there's not a lot of teams that have 6 guys they trust on the kill. Sometimes you have to have the offensive guy. Well, even the Wild's offensive guys are trustable on the defensive end, and I think that shows in their ability to match up and defend well.
Here's Warner outside the right circle, surveying, handing it to the goal line. O'Reilly threw one in front, a jam play, they score! Who else? Jerry Mayhew, his second of the night, and it's 2-0 early in the third.
Smart play by O'Reilly. He sees he's got 2 guys stacked up in front. Mayhew, Jerry, somehow he just finds a way to get his stick open and to have it available, and the pucks just find him. So he's sitting there on the back door, 2 guys tied up on Will Bitten. He does a good job interfering with those guys in front, and Jerry Mayhew slams it home. That is a huge goal. That's the cushion. Wild need to stay on the gas right now, though, but that is a big goal in a big game.
5:25 the time of the tally. Mayhew's 9th of the playoffs. As we're back to live action icing here on Iowa, I believe Warner will get the second assist, which means the goal's carbon copies. O'Reilly and Warner grabbing the helpers both times. Mayhew has found the back of the net. The first one a thing of beauty. The second one, just stick your nose in there and go to work.
Yeah, and Will Bitten deserves a bunch of credit there too. He does the ugly job in front of the net, battling 2 guys, taking 2 guys' attention, and that leaves Mayhew on the back door all alone. You know, that's a great goal by a good line.
It looks like they're going to give the first assist to Bitten, saying maybe he got a chunk of it in the goal mouth prior to Mayhew stashing it in as Reed rolls one in. Dansk will swallow it up. And with 14:15 to go in the third, the Wild being outshot but unfazed. Stellar play from Hammond and net. Right now it's 2-0 Iowa.
Wild need to stay on the gas here too. It's a big response shift for Chicago. If they want to get back into this game, I think Coach Rocky Thompson's going to be sitting on the bench. He's going to be saying, okay, guys, listen, stick with it, find a way, maybe deactivate, play with a little bit more risk, make your plays, execute, and we got to get to the net. I don't think they've had very many second chance opportunities. They got to find a way to get inside the Iowa Wild D if they want to get back into it.
Off the face-off, Wolves handle. Reinhardt to the left wing corner. It's spiked along by Mateau. Chunks into the Wild zone. Belpedio lost his stick, but a whistle here.
Smart play by Belpedio. I didn't have his stick, but he's like, it's going to be icing. I don't need a stick right now. I just got to be first man back, able to force the icing and get the whistle.
So Belpedio now to get his lumber. Mike Liambis able to grab it and hand it over to him. Draw coming to the left of Dansk. Dansk suffering his first loss since April the 19th in that Game 3 setback. 25-year-old bears in for the draw. McLean and Weiss on it for the respective sides. A couple of collegiate players. McLean from Bowling Green. Weiss scored 40 times in his collegiate career at Ohio State. Mitch McLean was an all-WCHA first-team member with with Bowling Green back in the 16-17 campaign. Here he controls, tries to center for Liambis, knocked away by the Wolves defense. Bischoff passed a little bit of trouble, but then eventually it's stolen by the Wild. Sam Annis laid down low for McLean. It jumped off his stick blade. Dansk pushing it away from danger. Again, Annis racing to it, causing some havoc. This line for the Wild's been outstanding tonight.
Yeah, and I was going to touch on that. fourth line, when the Wild have needed a momentum shift, the fourth line has been there. They've done it. They're working hard tonight. Their energy, they're bringing it, and they're getting offensive chances too.
Belpedio sits back behind his own net. Plays one on the right side. Reed had his cross-ice pass tipped. Greenway picks it up. Springs it back to Warner. Hinged along to Barkowski. Quickly paddled ahead. Tipped in by Reed. Sends the Wolves back just inside their own line. They'll go D to D. And now Carr looking for a right-wing offensive zone pass. He couldn't handle it. Manel deep in his own zone. Lofting it along. And Reed will carve it out through center. A foot race. Cunnin trying to hustle to it. Back though is White Cloud. Then to Carr. And reverse into the corner for Quinney. Trying to step past Reed. Following up the play, Masick. Masick spins it in. We've got three Olympians rather, in this game tonight. Masick played last year for Germany. He's a dual citizen, Canadian and German citizenship. And of course, both Ryan Donato and Jordan Greenway played for Team USA last year in the 2018 Winter Olympic Games. The Olympics not featuring NHL players last year, of course. Masick. The left circle, Haga shot, bounce down in front. Greenway, Hales from Canton, New York, will pick it up, swing through center ice, and dump it in.
Well, they've done a really good job against that line too. Carr, the AHL MVP, has kind of been quiet. Really the only times I remember hearing him saying his name recently is just on these dump-ins. So they're doing a good job keeping these guys quiet.
Hika right side with a wrister, sticked away by Hammond. It leaves the playing surface and will step aside. 12:02 to go in regulation here in Game 4. A Wild win, and we're all square in the best of 7. It's 2-0 in favor of the home side, as Mayhew has them both. Back after this on our simulcast. MC22 and 1460 KXNO. The Iowa Wild and Chicago Wolves play Game 5 of the Central Division Finals Friday night at 7 p.m. from Wells Fargo Arena. All Friday night Wild home games feature $2 beers presented by 100.3 The Bus. Plus enjoy great Captain Morgan drink specials and a rally towel giveaway. That's the Wild and the Wolves Game 5 Friday night at 7 p.m. Get your tickets now at iowawild.com. Iowa Wild playoff hockey. The hunt continues.
At MidAmerican Energy, we harvest the wind to provide you with clean, affordable energy. But did you know our commitment to wind energy also creates jobs and generates millions in local revenue? That's money your community can use to fix roads, support first responders, and improve schools. MidAmerican Energy's commitment to renewable energy delivers positive results for our state. And it's one more way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is Mason Shaw.
Congratulations to Mike Jones.
12:02 to go in the third. Joe O'Donnell, Ryan Carter back here with you. Face-off coming to the left of Andrew Hammond. The Wild lead Game 4 by a score of 2-0. Crowd of 5,120 here tonight for some more Calder Cup playoff hockey. This fan base hadn't had a postseason game here in this building since the 2007 season when the Texas Stars, or excuse me, that time the Iowa Stars called this building home. Here's a point shot by the Wolves, knocks into the corner. Hika skates to it, wheels up near the blue line, sent one along for Law, but a little miscommunication there, and the Wild get to it. Prosser just chucks it out the center. Chicago back on it, Hika looking for Glass. Bounces into the Wild zone, Belpedio, tape to tape for Beck. Charging into the Wolves' end, weaving left wing side. Beck carving down low, threw one off the outside of the net. He got hit hard thereafter.
As a player, you respect that play, though. He took a hit to make the play. He got his shot. Nothing came of it. Took the hit, but you respect that as a teammate.
Colasar powers around through the Wild slot. Left it along for McGinn. To the left point, Leslie loads, fires, sent it well wide, looking for a bounce, which he got, but Tynan couldn't get there. Hika back to it. Another one of those sort-out situations for the Wild defensively here.
Yeah, they're struggling right now a little bit to sort this out. They had Susie up top looking at a D-man. Now they're still trying to figure out O'Reilly. The center's high. They're running all over the place. This is dangerous.
Leslie a shot and they score. It got through traffic and right on cue. The Wolves finally cracked the code of Andrew Hammond. O'Reilly collided with a teammate there and ended up in a heap. Chicago just kept it moving, and with 10:49 to go, we've got a one-goal game.
You can kind of see the panic too when you don't get that sort out and you get a guy up out of position. watch Carson Susie. They're trying to sort it out. Where's everything going? Where's everything going? 3 guys on 1 guy, and Chicago finally gets a couple guys behind the Wild D and ends up in the back of the net.
It was Leslie with the shot, but it looked like it bounced off the leg of Curtis McKenzie at 9:11 of the 3rd period.
Looks like they might be giving it to Tynan, who we touched on it early in the game. If Chicago wants to win this, he's got to play a part in it, and he's got looks like he's got the one tonight.
McKenzie will send it deep. Barkowski off his end wall. And now O'Reilly just popping it through center. We'll see if they take a look, the off-ice officials, at that video review. But either way, an even strength goal by Chicago. Their first goal in basically 144 minutes against Andrew Hammond in the Wild. You got to go all the way back to Game 2. Well, the Wolves won 4-3. Mayhew right circle, leaving it for Bitton, and a diving attempt by the Wolves broke up that try. Chicago now with numbers if they hustle. Tynan over the offensive line, down low, Hika in tight, dangle to his backhand, and Hammond fought it off.
Wow, what a dangerous sequence there. The Wild from feast to famine. Looks like maybe they're going to have a great shot in the slot. All of a sudden turns into a 3-on-2 the other way, and Hika almost buries one.
9:55 to go in the 3rd. Wild offside, rushing into the Wolves zone. Boy, another nail-biter. Another 1-goal game, or at least shaping up to be that way. Halfway through the 3rd, it's Game 4. The Wild lead the Wolves 2-1. As we step aside on our simulcast here tonight on Mediacom's MC22 and 1460 KXNO.
Soon you'll have a separate fridge in the basement where extra groceries are exiled forever. Remember that frozen lasagna? Of course you don't. It's been down there since 2008. Good news is, it's easy to bundle through Progressive and save on your car insurance. Basic cake, even the lasagna. It's really old. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company.
Are you tired of looking for candidates to fill your open positions? Remedy Intelligent Staffing can do that for you with our qualified employees for your temporary to hire, or direct hire positions. Due to Remedy's extensive screening, you can be assured the employees they send will hit the ground running. How much is your time worth? Let Remedy handle all the paperwork, including payroll, taxes, workers' compensation, benefits, and more. Remedy is the #1 rated staff company in Des Moines on Google. Learn more at remedystaffing.com or call 515-225-4000. That's 515-225-4000.
This is Sam Annis of the Iowa Wild, and you're listening to Wild Hockey on 1460 KXNO.
Halfway through the 3rd, Wild 2, Wolves 1 here from Wells Fargo Arena. While the San Diego Gulls and Bakersfield Condors played one for the ages. Game 1 of their Pacific Division final back on May the 3rd went into 4 overtimes, the 5th longest game in AHL history. Keep in mind the American Hockey League wrapping up its 83rd season. Max Comtois, the eventual game winner for the Gulls. They played over 2 full hockey games. Ryan Carter, the longest game you ever played in your career?
I think we got to 3 overtimes, 5 overtimes. I mean,
you lost track?
They probably ran out of food. I mean, how did they have enough energy to get through that?
Hika attacks for the Wolves, sent one in front, stick save by Hammond. Annis off the right wing boards, not able to get it out of the zone. Wolves swipe it deeper. Belpedio, though, chases to it and rims it in from the left wing side as he hit the red line. Out with his goal stick dance. And now the Wolves attack with good speed. Mateau, Chicago making its push here. Down just the goals, Weiss with a shot, glove save by Hammond, and no rebound.
Yeah, Coach Army, I think, after that break says, okay, listen, I need a momentum shift here. Who am I going to put out? He puts that 4th line out. They get a couple of big hits. The crowd gets back into it. Hammond, they come down. He gets a save. Nice little glove save there. It actually looks a little bit more dangerous than I originally thought with 2 Wolves standing right there. That was a big play to cover that up and get the whistle.
Draw to the left of Hammond. The second shutout of the postseason coming Sunday. That leads the American Hockey League Calder Cup playoffs. At least it did entering play today. Of course, 2 other games in the Calder Cup playoffs. Charlotte has 1 to move on. They sweep the Hershey Bears. San Diego and Bakersfield in action as we speak in Game 3 of that series. Meanwhile, in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, Sharks lead the Avalanche 2-1. That game is in the 2nd. Winner moves on to play the St. Louis Blues. They won a double overtime thriller over Dallas last night in a Game 7. to get back to the Western Conference Final. 9 minutes to go in the third. Joe O'Donnell, Ryan Carter with you. It's Game 4, Wild lead 2-1. This is puck ricochets in the Wild bench. And a halt to action. Shots are 30-19 in favor of the Wolves.
I really like Luke Cunning's game tonight, too. He seems engaged. His feet are moving. He's winning battles. He's just playing a good all-around game tonight. He hasn't factored in on the score sheet, but he's been really noticeable.
What's the challenge for him playing wing a lot this year, asked to play center ice at times, and now it comes down to Iowa and the Wild in need of a center iceman. He's got to take all these big draws and start to reestablish himself in the middle.
I think that's challenging because you run different routes and you have different responsibilities. And even from the NHL to the AHL, the responsibilities are different for each guy. So really you're learning 4 positions there. You're wing and center in the NHL, wing, center in the AHL. And as much as they try to run the same systems up top and down low, they each have their nuance and little different things that you have to learn, and that's challenging.
Bitten to Soucy, a point drive, deflected wide as it was blocked by Keegan Colasar of the Wolves. O'Reilly tried to center it, eluded Mayhew, slams his stick down in frustration, and this puck squeezes all the way back into Iowa ice. Warner from around his own net, a left wing pass, Mayhew tips in. Leslie back for the Wolves D, hounded by Donato. Forced it along right side, Hika with a touch pass. Glass escaped the pressure of Rao, but he has to curl back as he was being pressured by both Donato and Beck. Wolves content to maintain puck possession here. Hika trying to start over the offensive line. Had it sliced away by Beck, got back to it, flipped it behind the Wild net. Belpedio intercepts. He's bothered by time again. Now Prosser right wing corner, outlets Donato. And with Rao pushing the pace, here's Ryan Donato through the neutral zone over the offensive line. Weaving, trying to dangle free. Wolves break it up. Haig leaned on by Donato. Muscled it to Masick, but Barkowski takes it away, and now Brendan Manel.
That's another spot where maybe you don't want to attack a guy one-on-one going horizontally in your own or in the offensive zone, 1 versus 3 kind of. Just get that puck behind the goal line, get to work. I know that's something that's been said a lot and it's kind of cliche, but it matters in these big, important playoff games.
Greenway shielding the puck from Haig. Haig lost his stick. Greenway took advantage of that, rolling out for a moment. Now he self-chips and goes back into the corner. Again, Greenway protects to the point. Manel waiting, firing one, and that went just wide. Barkowski galloped to it, left it back for Reed covering at the point. Sprung down low looking for Greenway, jumped over his stick blade, but Cunning's right there to rescue it. Good shift by the Wild here in the offensive zone with 7 minutes to go in the third.
I think Greenway could kill the next 7 minutes alone if he wanted to with the puck on his stick.
Cunning in front tied up. A jam play as it comes to the blue paint. Whacking away both sides. Where is it? And finally a whistle.
Ruff's giving him a chance to put that in. That was a long whistle. I lost sight of it a long time ago. A full 2 count before the ref had blown the whistle, but Wild unable to get a stick on that and get in the net.
6:51 to go. Here's another look.
Here's the shot coming in. Cunning, he's actually got a good position there. Good tie-up, maybe a penalty. Looked like a hook even a little bit. If he gets his stick free, that's maybe a tap-in. No call nonetheless, but maybe that's why the ref let the puck lay there a while and waited to blow the whistle.
30 shots for the Wolves, 21 for the Wild. Shots for 26-20 in the Wild's Game 3 win here Sunday. 26-20 in favor of the Wolves, but Iowa won it 2-0. It's a 2-1 game here tonight in Game 4 with 6:51 to go. Offensive zone draw for Iowa. McLean and Weiss for their respective sides. 5-on-5 action here late in the third. Wild got a goal at 13:01 of the first for Mayhew. No scoring for either team in the second. Mayhew made it 2-0 at 5:25 of the third. Wolves have trimmed that deficit again. It's a 2-1 game. Chicago out of its own end. Hika into open ice. Charging in Mateau right side with a shot and a shoulder save by Hammond, flicking it away.
And that's a really dangerous shot. I got a chance to play with Stephon Mateau his rookie year in New Jersey. He skates well and he has a heavy shot. You don't want to give him another chance right there in that spot, but Belpedio kind of gets caught pinching on a puck in the neutral zone, maybe that he shouldn't, and Mateau gets behind him. That's a dangerous shot. Good thing he decided to shoot short side high too. No rebound opportunity there. It was a 2-on-1 shoots. Sometimes, that's not a shot you want because you're not going to get a second chance on that, but still dangerous.
Draw to the left of Hammond. Wild win it back. Warner left in the corner. Soucy paddles it along. Mayhew skates through center ice, snaps it deep. Bitten pressures Reinhardt as they go to the corner. 2 bodies from each team trying to dig it loose. Wolves roll it around. Law off the dasher. Didn't get much behind it. O'Reilly hems the Wolves back deeper behind their own net.
There's Bitten again, the workhorse down there on this line, just winning battles down low and creating loose pucks.
Wolves here over the offensive line with McKenzie, his first goal to Calder Cup playoffs moments ago to get the Wolves right back into this one. Mayhew now steals, works his way out the center ice, forced it to Bitten. Couldn't get a deep, good gap there by Bischoff. Cutting it off, and McKenzie now swerves along. Wild get a line change. Wolves get some fresh bodies out as well. Tynan flies one down low. Hammond quick to come out, grab it with his glove, realizing his team could use a whistle.
Another smart play by Hammond to get the whistle there. Now we're going into a TV timeout. That was maybe a tough change by the Wild too. Wolves coming up with a bunch of speed. Again, just a good play to freeze it.
5:47 to go when we come back. 2-1 Wild in Game 4 on our simulcast tonight.
You asked for it, now you have it. Hawkeye and Cyclone broadcasts are now available anywhere in the world with the free iHeartRadio app. So whether you're at the game, on vacation, or just can't be near your radio, we've got you covered. Just open the iHeartRadio app and search 1040 WHO for the Hawkeyes and 100.3 the Bucks for Cyclones.
Things just go right when you have a perfect tan from Suntan City, like being asked out by the lead singer of your favorite band. Your tanning experience will go right too, thanks to the experts at Suntan City. They really get to know you and recommend the right sunbed or spray tan for the skin type and tanning goals. Because when the perfect tan gives you that inner glow, life's a little shiny.
This is Jerry Mayhew of the Iowa Wild. You're listening to Wild Hockey on 1460 KXNO.
5 minutes, 47 seconds to play in the third period. It's Game 4. Wild lead 2-1. Game 5 coming your way Friday night at 7 o'clock. Tickets at iowawild.com. $2 beers, can't beat that. Captain Morgan drink specials. Maybe I'll just take the night off. Rally towel giveaway as well. 5:47 to go. Wild win tonight. They even up the best of 7 in 2 games apiece. All right, the final 5. What are you looking for?
Well, you know, I'd like to see the Wild stay aggressive. They've been good in their gap all night, haven't given Chicago a lot. I don't want to see them sit back. You don't want to be, you know, letting Chicago come at you. They're deep. They can come 3 lines. It can be 5 tough minutes. Stay aggressive. Stay on your toes. Push.
Shots 31-21 Chicago. Off the defensive zone draw. Belpedio trying to hand it along. Stolen by Bischoff, who came charging down the dasher. Battle for it ensues to the right of Hammond. Now it's Beck off his end wall. Prosser on his backhand to his forehand. Got tied up. Prosser back to his skates after hitting the deck for a moment. Able to win that war. Shove it along to Belpedio. He'll angle it off the glass. Crazy Karam. Wolves get to it. Glass. Left side. McGinn. He'll rim it behind the net. He can let it come free. Leslie across the blue line. Backhand, forehand. Wristing one. Blocked by Beck, who leaned on his man. Jabbed it up the boards, but the Wolves hold it in.
That's another spot. I think the Wild can be good here. The last 5, they've done a good job. When you're looking at the screen around Hammond, they're outnumbering Chicago and they're in deep position. A couple of times, middle of this third period here, Chicago's had numbers inside on the Wild. They limit that. I like their chances.
Leslie over the offensive line, deep into the Wild zone, left it back. Masick a shot, and he pushed it wide past the short side post. Wolves go from low to high. Bischoff a bid, and that deflected just wide. Masick now for Quinney, a chance in front. Where's his puck? Have they scored? No goal. Hammond kept it just above the goal line. I'm not sure how.
Yeah, good play by Hammond there. I think he pinched it between the pads, is doing everything he could to keep it from crossing the goal line or getting pushed backwards. You know, we talked about it all night too. Somehow Hammond holds the post and keeps himself out, but the Wild have struggled in their sort-outs when Chicago changes sides behind the net. And right now they're kind of exploiting them on those quick little plays from inside that trapezoid behind the net to the slot area. Those are dangerous plays that the Wild are struggling with right now.
Man, the Wolves were celebrating, Ryan. They thought that puck had gone over the goal line. Then Hammond just, it was like, well, here it is. And it popped out. It was clearly above the goal line between his pads the whole time.
Yeah, maybe there was some question because we couldn't see it, but as soon as he saw the puck, it almost relieved any thought, oh, there's no chance at winning.
So a long delay here before the draw, coming to left of Hammond. Quick thanks to our MediaCom MC22 crew for a little Calder Cup playoff hockey tonight. Audio, Dave Feingold. Camera workers, Peter Tubbs, Melanie Campbell, Marlon Schramm, Bryce Jarrett. Graphics, Brent Willett and Beth Haig. Frank Kazak, the stat man tonight. Todd Bailey and Reed Denker on replay. Kevin Rivers on video. Bill Brown, our truck engineer. Our director and technical director, Bill Pearson. And our producer, the one and only Lance Herbold, not noted tonight. Pat Hurley, who took off a playoff game for other activities. Boy, are we upset at him. Final 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the third. Wild trying to hang on and even up this best of 7 at 2 games apiece. Tynan digs it free for the Wolves. Rolled it below the goal line, McKenzie, who has the Chicago towel to the point, White Cloud, D to D. Haig lost it along the dasher. And now the net off behind Hammond as a tie-up between Warner and Kolasar, and that stalemate with 2 big bodies down there forced the net off its pegs with 4:01 to go.
I think this plays into the Wild hands too. The more whistles there are right now, the more they slow it down, the better off they are. Chicago seems to be taking it to them now. The ice is tilted. I don't think we've seen any real sustained pressure or any time inside Chicago's zone the last 6-8 minutes.
The shots are 33-21 Wolves. There have been just 3 combined power plays. Chicago 0 for 2, Iowa 0 for 1. Mayhew 2 goals for the Wild. McKenzie on the board here in the third for the Wolves.
Iowa's lone power play too was just a minute 30. That came off of a Chicago power play too. So really they haven't had a 2-minute power play yet.
Face off to the right of Hammond. Glass and Beck will take the draw. Back the Swiss Army knife for this team. One at the Prosser, then to Belpedio. Punched off the boards and out the center. Icing waved off here. As back is McGinn. Threw it in the left wing corner in reverse. Leslie hammered it ahead. The line held by Prosser for a moment. And the Wolves now have to use the ice beneath them to reset. Reinhart up to Glass. Cody Glass over the offensive line. Has 5 points, 4th amongst all rookies in the Calder Cup playoffs. But along the boards for time again. We'll angle it back the other way. Donato jabbing at it. Reinhart pinched down. We'll see a lot of that with the Wolves D wanting to be very aggressive here down the stretch.
Yeah, and as it inches down the clock more and more, you'll see him get more and more aggressive. Wild wingers have to have their head on a swivel, be better at that. Greenway, I think, had a chance there to box the guy out and win a rim battle. That kept the puck in the zone for a little bit longer than the Wild maybe would have wanted.
Here's Reed over the offensive line. Right circle, wristing a shot that deflects out of play. 3:09 to go. 2-1 the Wild lead it in game 4. Should we tick down a bit longer with this 1-goal lead in favor of Iowa? We'll keep our eyes, of course, on Oscar Dance, the Wolves netminder. See when Rocky Thompson might want to get him to the bench should this score hold up.
And the Wild are doing good chasing pucks down in the offensive zone, but it seems that there's only one guy skating hard right now. The other 4 are sitting back. I think to be effective, you still want all 5 moving. You got to be quick to support too. It's not just one guy going. All 5 have to be going at the same time.
Face off to the left of Dance. Cunnin on it for the Wild. Quinney on it for the Wolves. Cunnin won it back. Here's Manel at the right point. A snapper off the chest protector of Dance. And the rebound handled by Haig. And spring to head for Masick. Greenway busting back on the backside pressure. Helped draw this play offside. Wolves have to clear the zone. So it's Greenway fanning on a pass and lifting it back to Bartkowski. Flick to Manel and out through center ice for Cunnin. Just jamming it off the boards, but not very far through center.
You're seeing them try to make simple plays and not playing with confidence as much as maybe we'd like right now. Just simple plays like that where you take 2 strides, you dump it in instead of just a blind chip off, and now they're back in their own end.
Battle for it just inside the Wild blue line. 2.5 now to go. O'Reilly sails it off the glass safely through center. Wild gets some fresh troops out. Here's Haig on a reset. Headmanning over the offensive line. Tynan, left wing wall on his backhand. Defended by Manel. Tynan strong on his skates. Protecting the puck, trying to throw one in front, blocked by O'Reilly. Handed to Mayhew, and he'll tap it out off the left wing boards. Foot race forward. Bitten's going to win the race against a tired Haig. Bitten behind the net of Oscar Dance. Now on the right wing side from his vantage point before getting tied up. Then winning a battle again to keep the Wolves at bay for a moment. 2 minutes to go.
Great shift by Bitten there. Chase that down, win that battle, kill a couple, 20 more seconds in the offensive zone and then win a board battle.
Wolves have pulled Dance. Extra attack route for Chicago. Tynan to the point. White Cloud waits back to Tynan along the left wing dasher. Flex to White Cloud. Right side Bischoff. Pass jammed them a bit. Up near the blue line. Try to sweep it down low. 2-1 the Wild lead. They steal. Mayhew taps out the center. 90 seconds left in regulation. Wild trying to even up the best of 7. A bouncer comes into the Wild slot. Warner below his goal line on his backhand off the left wing boards. Mayhew bottled up, couldn't get it out. Mayhew digging for it. Wolves win awards. Kolasar, high slot, shooting one. It was blocked out in front by Warner. O'Reilly left wing side, softly out to center ice.
6-on-5, I think you take an icing too if you have to. Hard plays, what you can't commit are soft plays that allow Chicago to keep the puck in the zone.
Now just over a minute left. Greenway angles it out to center. Wolves have an empty net behind them. Final minute here of the third. Wild leading game 4, 2-1. Buckle up. White Cloud. Dehika lost it at center for a moment to Greenway. It is Barkowski now chasing back off the glass left side. Bouncing puck cut into Greenway. Didn't get it out. Greenway got tied up, and now the Wolves sky one, and this puck's going to come out the center on the draw with 42.6 to go as it caught the safety netting well over the head of Hammond.
Wild bailed out there by the puck over the glass. That's one of the soft plays we're talking about. You don't want to make a soft play at your blue line. First priority, get it out of the zone. Make them have to regroup, eat some time, and bring it back in. If they're able to keep it in, that allows them to sustain pressure, and then 6-on-5 down zone, everybody's scrambling.
Wolves have called their timeout with 42.6 seconds to go. Gives us a chance to remind you the Wild Hockey is presented by Catch Des Moines. Whether it's biking over 800 miles of trails or shopping, the historic East Village boutiques, Greater Des Moines has no shortage of things to do. Catch all Des Moines has to offer at catchdesmoines.com.
This timeout comes at a good time for the Wild, too. They get a chance to rest their 5 best defensive players. They'll play this last 42.6. Watch for Chicago. A lot of time teams like to line a guy up on this weak side. A neutral zone face-off like this, they'll line a guy up on the weak side. They'll try to win it back OD to D and hit that guy flying. Back OD to D and hit that guy flying with speed on the outside. Looks like Coach Rocky Thompson's drawn up a play now too, so they've got a plan coming into this. Coach Army, or is that Coach McLean saying, hey, watch out for this?
What are those moments like on the bench for both teams? I mean, it's loud in this building. Guys just trying to encourage one another.
There's a lot of excitement, yeah, but at the same time, you've got to curb the excitement. You got to say, hey, we're professionals. We know what we're doing here. Calm down. We've been in this spot before. Go out and execute. It's all about execution right now.
Empty net for the Wolves. Neutral ice face-off. Glass and Cunnin on it. Off the face-off, a scramble. White Cloud waits, loads, fires from center. Hammond the stick save. 35 ticks to go. Susie golfing at it, left wing wall, got it up, not out. Wolves hold in Masick. Below the goal line, Carr. Curling on his forehand, looking for help. To the point, White Cloud. Sprung it along Haig. Pressured by Reed, muscle one in front, tipped. Wolves get to it, Tynan again to Haig. Wants to shoot. 20 to go. Down low it comes. Glass to Tynan at the hash marks. Up top, Haig. Drive blocked by Reed. It came right back to him. Wristing one. It went wide. Off the end wall. The Wolves grab it. 8 seconds to go. Behind the net, they try and center. Tynan tips along Haig. Waiting. Shooting one. It was blocked again by Reed. Tynan back on it. 2 seconds to go. Haig will throw it down low. That's going to do it. The best of 7 is even at 2 games apiece. At the Wild win game 4. 2-1 the final.
Hammond with a great game, but that shift right there, that was all hard from Matt Reed. 2 huge blocks. He eats within the shin pad, turns around, takes another one. Hammond's giving Reed a hug right now, saying thank you, man.
Shot block City down the stretch with the empty net for Chicago, trying to get everything, including the kitchen sink, to the front of the cage, and Reed would have none of it.
Here's the big one. You eat those ones hurt. I can't tell you how much those hurt. A one-timer, you know it's going to hurt. You take it. It goes around back to the other side. He gets his stick on another one. And, hey, listen, that's what it's about this time of year. It's about heart and desperation. If you want to win, you got to do those things. Matt Reed, the veteran, showing all the young guys, hey, this is why I'm on the ice at this time. I was looking at the replay. You get a quick look at that second block from him. He's in the lane, playing it perfectly. He's got experience. He's got heart. And like I said, that's why he's on the ice the last minute of the game.
Wild win at 2-1. Game 5 coming Friday night. The best of 7 all square. Home team has held serve through the first 4. We'll wrap it up after this on 1460 KXNO Mediacom's MC22.